Welcome, everyone, to Forbidden Frontier, episode 13. Are there giants out there?
That tag is dope. The Forbidden Frontier tag. Whoever did that.
Isn't it?
It is.
That's Perry
that
Chan.
was Perry quality. I mean, everything he does is quality. I mean, I can't even.
Perry Chan.
Released a new album. Like, man.
He loved you a long time.
It's quality. It's quality.
Good man. It's a good man.
Hey, greetings, everyone. We're going to have a fun show. We're going to go over something I'm not too sure about. Kind of feel the same way about Bigfoot. It's a little, there's a lot of smoke, no fire, none, not a lot of evidence, a lot of fake crap, tons, lots of stuff from the 1800s. But there is some compelling stuff that you got to think about. And I think it creates a bigger conversation of, anthropology, but basically, you know, how many races of humans are there out there? I mean, they're still discovering them, quite frankly, and we can
Denisovans
or I've always said
Denisovans.
Now they're saying what did you say?
Denisovan?
It's Denisovan or it's Denisovans. It's like
Denisovans.
the video I watched even changed halfway through the video, and I was like,
they were catering to all sides, maybe.
Yeah, like, whatever it is.
It is related to a lot of stories from the Bible, but also a lot of Native American traditions. And quite frankly, there are stories everywhere. There is an island of the giants in the Mediterranean. There's
Sardinia?
Sardinia,
right.
Sardinia, they're really small fish.
I need to go. Well, I hate them on pizza, but I want to go to that island. With pineapple on pizza.
So the one thing that I gathered from watching all the different things about this is it's all over the planet. You know, it's in Ireland, it's in Catalina.
Catalina.
Like, okay, America. So that's the opposite. That's the opposite side of the planet. All right, so
all over North America, South
I
America.
remember hearing the traditions of there being another race of people that lived before the Native Americans who are currently there. There's not many of them. I heard that stuff when I was a kid. I've been to Catalina Island. To me, it was always the fucking Catalina wine mixer. No, it was
the Catalina wine mixer, man.
No, it was just like some touristy place. But you know what else is tied in there is Randall talked about it in one of his 110-hour podcasts. That there is definitive evidence there of the fires from the Younger Dryas.
Really?
Yeah. So you know how there's the black mat. There's also evidence on Catalina Island of it basically catching on fire around that time, around 12,000 years ago. Nothing to do with giants. Just thought it was interesting. But it's a fascinating subject, and there is, you know, Paxton Hayes, and then there's that psychopath who was I don't want to be too judgmental on the guy. I'm not going to be as judgmental as Jim Vieira was.
Yeah, dude, he's so judgmental. It's funny.
He was a good dude or anything, but dude, Jim Vieira just like he can't get out of his own way. I like him as a speaker until he starts sounding like a raving SJW.
Yeah, I was watching his TED talk about it, and it was just like, and this is racist, and that's racist, and they were marginalized, and I was like, okay, can we settle down?
Whatever. People of their time. Okay, some of them.
That is how you should describe.
Some of them were of their time. Some of them were extra evil, kind of like people today. All right, but you know what? If they did dig up a bunch of stuff, they desecrated. It's terrible, but let's learn from it now. Like it's been done.
We've moved on. We should do things differently.
We can't change the past.
I don't think any of us want to be dug up. But I'll say it right now. This is my waiver. If they bury me, I don't give a shit. Dig me up in 10,000 years.
I want to be dug up. I want to be in one of those glass boxes, you know, where they hang up the body.
I want to be in the Museum of Pluto.
Just like, ooh, that's a good idea.
In 10,000 years, they're going to find Garrett. And for some reason, humans will keep shrinking. So Garrett will be that giant that they find. They'll be like, proof of a giant, look. And it's just,
they'll be like, you're a crackpot. They were never that large.
They'll get the DNA and they'll be all, he was quarter black.
We have the scientists
by the bones.
Exactly 25%.
He was
black.
Quarter black giant.
Quarter black giant.
Wow.
Little school kids will walk past and be like, there he is.
Ayo. Sorry, Garrett.
No,
that was...
X-ray girl face was good right there. Hello. Let's see who's here. Andy's here. Splimus is here. Russ Williams is here. Hal, what's up, Hal? We got infinite improbability. The infinite improbability drive. There's some hitchhiker love right there.
I like it. That's a cool
R.I.P. Douglas Adams.
Good name.
I'm older than Douglas Adams ever would have been.
That is so tragic.
He died when he was 50.
No offense, but like Douglas Adams.
Cliff isn't here.
Alive right now.
He's not here. He said he's not here. So
yeah, don't point him out.
The internet is right always.
Okay. Eric K's here, of course, with his wrench. Andrew Matthews for $5 says there is an unidentified orange hair from China. It's not a man or ape, but it's close. It's not Trump's. Okay, we know that. No, there is the people the mummies they found in the what's the name of the desert in China again? The big one that I'm blanking the name of. Oh my God, help me, chat.
Googling. Gobi?
The Gobi Desert, yes.
I should have just said it.
They were
faster than you, chat. Just saying.
Of course she's gonna know.
Well, she
I googled it. I googled it.
It's her culture.
That's where she lives.
Google is what I mean.
There's a little latency. I'm sure chat would have been way faster than me.
They did find the mummified remains of wait. Oh.
People.
Okay.
They had red hair. Yeah.
There's a lot of sounds there. I'm not sure which one you're
Catalina. Catalina.
People.
Well, that's
the supposed problem. Giants were people.
I legitimately, I couldn't tell if that was the sound that you were pressing or if you were just doing whoosh, and X-Ray was saying white people.
White people.
I thought X-Ray was just saying it, but it was your sound. But I was like, is X-Ray just saying white people?
I'm trying to trick you now.
Nephilim.
Anything from
Giants
the Bible, academia will just not touch. Like if it's related to the Bible, you can feed, and that goes to Graham stuff, everybody's stuff. Anything that could possibly tangentially relate to the freaking Bible, they go, nope, can't happen. Nope, no flood.
But they keep finding stuff that makes it like that proves it, and they're like, dang it.
And like, I'm not a Christian, but I'm like completely open to it. I think it is a historical record that had cities that actually existed. So, but you could feel like it's tangible, the bias academia has, the absolute bigotry they have towards it.
Yeah, I said this before, and I will say it again. I don't understand why they're like that. Because if there's an actual scientific evidence of things that have happened that aren't religious in a sense, because they are it's just truth. It's real history. Yeah, facts. It's like, oh, see, they're just taking what actually happened and like making it religious.
There's an animosity there because originally science was started by Christians in a way to try and understand God's creation, and then it became this separation, and it was antagonistic between the two.
To be fair, and Islam, there was a lot of
it's the Abrahamic faith.
Early days of all the Abrahamic faiths, we're into it.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So to our Christian friends out there, Happy Easter! Happy Easter!
He is risen. Happy Easter!
That's
Happy
right.
Easter. Cheers.
Plus the bunny, I guess. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? What are you drinking?
It's bubbly water. It's from HEB. It's like
bubbly water.
HEB.
Such a Texas thing.
HEB is the
that's
best,
all
man.
Texas, isn't it?
I've never tried
baby.
it.
HEB's great.
HEB is a glorious place. I look forward to grocery shopping.
What does it stand for?
I don't know.
I like to believe it's like the great grandfather's name, like Heb. Hey Eb, what do you want to do with your life? I'm gonna start a grocery chain,
and it's gonna be the best one in the country.
The best and the biggest, because everything is bigger in Texas.
Yep, good old Eb.
Howdy.
Yes, no liquid death for me, Stanley. No, just water.
Wait, is it really Howard E. Butt? Is that it?
Well, I call it HEB too.
Howard E. Butt.
Butt's grocery store.
Multiple people were saying it.
No way.
All right.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Look it up, Garrett.
It's huge.
What
and
does HEB
inside? HEB is giant, to stay on theme. And Texas. It has it's a grocery store that's about as big as a Walmart.
Oh, no, they're right.
And in front,
but with 2 T's.
And in front, there is like a little eating lounge for your restaurant where they do trivia. You can get pizza. There's a T-Mobile, so I can get my phone. You can get health insurance. There's a tile store. It's got everything. There's a Hitman in there too.
In the back corner.
Hitman.
Some dirty deeds done dirt cheap. You can get that at your HEB too. So
yeah, you can't legally have a Buc-ee's and an HEB within 15 miles of each other because there's just like a gravitational anomaly that happens if they get too close. You might
die from enjoying capitalism too much.
Yeah, there's it's too much.
Is that what happened at Skinwalker Ranch? I believe that's
you know what?
A few places that they both exist.
Speaking of Skinwalker Ranch, it premieres in, I'm so excited, 9 days. 9 days. We're gonna cover.
You know what? That's what we'll do. All right. I know you guys are traveling.
I'm binging this all week.
We got an interesting couple weeks because of what's happening in Vegas. So when that premieres, we'll watch it and we'll figure out a spot to like get in there and review it.
And you know what happens when we get to Vegas?
Please tell me. Enlighten me.
I can't tell you.
Garrett won't get drugged.
Yeah, damn it.
Hopefully.
You're not gonna tell me?
She just talked over my joke. Damn woman.
Sorry.
Damn woman. I was waiting for it too.
That was for both of you, by the way.
Yeah.
9 words.
Yeah, back to 9 words now for you.
You almost just lost one, down to 8.
Yeah.
I don't make the rules.
I probably lost a percentage of my female audience too, so down to 8 too.
Is that how it works? You get the amount of words as the percentage of females on the
That makes sense.
channel?
It's a good rule.
Each percentage we go, hey, that's it's kind of an
fair
contract for X-Ray Girl. Each time it goes up percentage, she gets another word.
Now, was that considered a word? She did say he.
It's like a onomatopoeia.
Anime laughter is not a word.
No, okay. I'm just clarifying the rules for chat. You know,
I'm actually curious on this side of things. What your audience is at?
Well, that's way
that's
over.
a good question.
Because
what?
It's probably like
3.9%.
3.
So you're way over, X-Ray. Way. We will round up,
you're in word debt now.
Word debt. We're gonna.
I'll be working for free for like
over the next couple episodes.
We are pretty close to a sausage party. Very, very close.
Wait, I'm pretty sure we're like peak sausage party.
We kind of are, but that's all right. That's cool. Dudes unite. Let's do this. So we thanks for all the hard work, guys. It's a tough job, but we do it for you, chat. I mean, like, you need to acknowledge our sacrifice, like how hard we work watching all this stuff we normally watch already. It's like, hey,
well, I wouldn't have watched the stuff about giants, to be fair. All right, I went out of my way to watch the stuff you said we should watch, and I did. So, except the one that's not available in my country. I was like,
what?
Which
one was
that?
that?
What is this?
History Channel one? That must have been the History Channel one.
History Channel. I couldn't watch
it. Wasn't the best one.
Sucks. They had the whole season. It's okay.
Watch all the other stuff though.
So Jim Vieira and his brother did an entire series called In Search of Giants or something for the History Channel. It wasn't very good because they didn't come up with a lot of stuff and it was really over sensationalized. And honestly, the stuff we're going to talk about is in there and it's like 5 minutes worth of stuff.
Okay.
Well, you sent a whole list of stuff we should watch, and I've been watching them all day. And yeah, I started with the History Channel one, and it was all over sensationalized, and they went down in this hole, which was actually a legitimately cool, like, location. What was it was like the cave?
Lovelock?
No, it's the one that they had to take the rock off the top of and go excavate.
Oh, I forgot the name of the cave, but yeah.
And it was like a house carved out of full bedrock. Is that one? Because they talk about
it was like a tunnel.
Like
it was like a long tunnel. It was built a long time ago. But he goes in there, and literally the whole episode, it's like 45 minutes. The whole episode, he goes in there, scooches in. That's it. But the entire episode is like, oh man, we got to get these things, and this is what happens in there, and then we take the top off. Dun 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 dun. So it was like way over sensationalized.
But
then you continue down these like list of videos you said to watch, and it's from the same team. Yeah. But he's just speaking and just talking about the facts, and I find those way more entertaining.
At least those are what I watch. I like those
because I'm like, I just want the facts. I don't want the like dramatization of it.
Skinwalker Ranch does that, but they actually like things happen. Like things actually happen. They've caught UFOs on camera and like some weird like phones start freaking out. It's pretty weird. It's pretty weird. I forgot about Lovelock. So we're going to talk about Lovelock because I don't think they have a lecture on Lovelock, but that's in Nevada. That's a pretty famous giant story. I have the article, so we'll talk about that too. So cool. Jim Vieira is like where I kind of went down the rabbit hole. I found him just in the early days of YouTube when I just watched UFO stuff, and Tyler from Secure Team used to upload almost daily. And I just watch all my weird stuff. And I found Jim Vieira and Megalithomania.
Is Jim Vieira the guy who was like, he said it like multiple times. I did a TED Talk, and it was the most the highest rated TED Talk. I don't know if that's it sounds like Jim Vieira, every time he says it, I'm like, bullshit, dude. Bullshit. Come on.
He's from Boston, Mass, so he's got a thick.
Yeah, that's wicked cool. That's wicked cool. Wicked cool. Look at that.
And I'm fine with everything he does until he starts sounding like a raving SJW. But most of the time, he just settles in, and then he starts talking about like just giants. And
Goshen Cave.
Yeah, he's a
Goshen Cave is what I was thinking.
He's a stonemason. So he's just kind of regular dude, working class dude who started looking at all the megalithic structures in Massachusetts. Because there's tons of them.
Yeah, it's amazing.
They were made by the colonists, and that's just total bullshit.
Of course it is.
And he started digging further into it, and he did notice, and like he just uses racism too much, but it's legit when it comes to like the early 1800s. It's very legit. There was the Manifest Destiny still. Carrying over, and people thought, other people were savages in their culture, and they completely dismissed oral tradition and just dug up a lot of these giants were they're associated around the world with megalithic structures, and they're associated with mounds. We had millions of mounds in this country, and they just got wiped out. We still have a lot, but nowhere near as much as before we got here. And I was talking about Shell Mound. Where Emeryville is, right near Pixar. They wiped that thing out for a freaking strip mall in a parking lot, and like just no regard for it whatsoever. And these things, like we see them now and it just looks like a mound, but these things were aligned astronomically, and they were pyramids. They were basically looked like ziggurats and pyramids, very Mesoamerican. And that's an old, a lot of them were reconstructed, but when they when they built these things, they were impressive structures that required insane amounts of earth for people who didn't have shovels or buckets.
Yeah. Hunter-gatherers, again, going back to the hunter-gatherers, they don't have really time to do anything except hunt and gather, and they're spending a lot of time building these mounds.
Right. I watched a show the other day about this this group of hunter-gatherer. Oh no, I think it was Rogan. This guy was on Rogan. He was talking about these guys that he went out in Africa, these hunter-gatherers. They could run for hours, and they're just looking for food. They're speaking with birds. They're like one with the nature, man. And they're spending their entire day searching for food to eat. Yep. Because that's what they do. That's their sole focus is following the food, using nature to find more food, to then get nutrients to be able to go get up the next day and find more food. They're not going, let's build a megalithic structure. Forget getting food. Like you can't just stop one and do the other. Because how are you gonna support yourself?
So then they had to be the hunter-gatherers. Either we don't think of them correctly, and it's like a misnomer. Hunting and gathering is more advanced than previously thought, or we were more advanced and we were out of the hunting and gathering scenarios and we're further along. Had to have been to take time out of your life to build something, even something that seems simple like a mound. Like, oh, we could go out and build a mound. It's going to take a while, but we could go do it. It's not like Göbekli Tepe. Like, that's a whole nother thing. But this is still taking time out of your life that is not hunting, gathering, building. That is a lot to do. So we're way more advanced than I think at least I thought we were.
Well, yeah, there's Poverty Point, which is massive, absolutely massive, which they didn't even really know was around till the 30s, or at least our government will say. I'm sure there was indigenous people there who knew exactly where it was, but like it was rediscovered. We got to remember to use that word, rediscovered, because a lot of this stuff, again, the Native Americans knew about it. They just didn't talk about it for good reason. But Poverty Point is massive. It's in Louisiana. I want to go there someday. And again, it's just a shadow of its former self. But it was a giant city. It was a giant city. Yeah. So this is way beyond hunter and gatherers, because you need a surplus that therefore, like, and when we talk about Göbekli Tepe again, that's because I was joking about it with the Brothers of the Serpent on Twitter, because they found some video I had never seen.
Really?
Yeah. I shared it in the Twitter DM.
Is that the quarry that they found?
Yeah, they found the quarry for Göbekli Tepe.
And it's like, you could see Göbekli Tepe from there. It's like across the hill.
I have never seen video of it. I'm sure like people had found it, but I had never ever seen a picture of it until now. And they
so are you gonna pull it up?
I'm looking for it. Yeah,
it's obviously a quarry. Like there's cut lines. There's like walls of like you can see multiple levels of them cutting stone out. It's like, oh well, this is obviously where they built. Yeah. So look at the cuts. Wait, it cuts for later on. It skip ahead a little bit. Well, I mean, all of that. Look at how much of that stone. It's all like cut, but they get a close up. Oh no, it's further down. In the next comment, they actually post another.
Yeah,
video.
There's another one.
This one. Here we go. Look at this.
Yeah, you can see the blocks cut out.
It's so obvious that this was cut out. And they were saying, like, you could see Göbekli Tepe from here, from this hill. So it's visible. It's not like hundreds of miles away. It's right there. Awesome.
It's amazing what we have been able to accomplish.
So hunter-gatherers made this. They just woke up one morning and said, let's dig out some big rocks.
Well, and go back to the beginning so you could kind of see the horizon. Scan forward a little bit. Hunter-gatherers, right? Are they going to be on these open plains? Maybe. I feel like
some buffalo out there or something. They got some kind of giant.
This doesn't feel like
fauna.
I mean, who knows, right? There's probably hunter-gatherers that were everywhere on this planet.
They were running around. Well, the bush in Australia has a lot of animals. It does. So it's just they're dangerous. They're really, really dangerous. Especially
giants,
kangaroos. So yes. Back to mammoths. They did have mammoths. I don't know if they have them in Turkey. Did they have them in Turkey? Probably.
What was the largest fauna in Turkey? I wonder. Getting sidetracked again though.
Turkey.
There's a giant turkey, man.
There weren't no turkeys in Turkey. That's weird.
Turkeys are terrifying.
Multiple times throughout all of the stuff, all of the research that I've been doing with Graham Hancock, Randall Carlson, like even mentions some of the stuff. But when they started talking about what's the name of it? Doggerland? Is that old England, basically before the water rushed in?
Yeah.
So that when he was talking about the giants in Ireland, and he was talking about how it also, oh man, there's so many different
like
things.
Where the Isle of Man.
I'm trying to piece together. It's very interesting because
like where that
if these giants existed, and we're finding some here and there. But if the waters came in and they were living on the water, which most human cities happen to be on the water, as trade and you can. That's what
even now, like you said before, even now, our largest cities are on the water.
Right. So
if it rose, those
I wonder
gone.
if I can find that map real quick. But they were finding him in Ireland. But then you look at the map when he shows Doggerland, and it's like so much further out there. So like all these giants wouldn't even be up on these mountains. They'd be down by the water, or what was down by the water. We're looking in the wrong spot.
They're digging in the wrong place.
Perfect.
This
Look
is
at
all
this.
connected.
Raiders lost.
Look at this.
There, you guys.
Look at this. Look how huge this was. This is all land.
That's insane.
But even if they were settled at the edges, there would still be some alive.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
So it actually does have a legend here for how long.
No, they know people lived in Doggerland. They know it. So I mean, it's I don't know.
7,000 years it was here. The
Yeah.
darker green. 8,000. It's the lighter green edge. 16,000 BC. By the way, it's the light.
So I was thinking about this. So I was thinking about why these bones would have been eliminated or gotten rid of, or people destroying them, right? I think back about, well, number one, history is written by the victors, right?
Yep.
And we look at the Inquisition, we look at the Crusades, we look at these religious movements in history of getting rid of competition and being the foremost religion in the land. Like, this is the one that everyone adheres to. Wouldn't it make sense that there would be, I don't know, if there was a giant or bones that would be a monstrous, or I don't know, go against things that they believe, and like got to get rid of it. I mean, kind of Antikythera device too, like, oh, heretical. What is this? It's witchcraft. Oh, you're a giant. Oh, you need to be killed because you're, I don't know, the devil. You're possessed because you have superhuman strength. Supposedly, these
That
giants.
was weird to me.
Isn't that why a French king expelled the Knights Templar? Because they thought they were, well, he could have made it up, but he thought they were possessed. They were getting instruction from a demon.
I mean,
it's weird to me. Is like a lot of these
about anyone.
Yeah.
A lot of these museums, like there were museums showing some of these larger bones that were discovered,
right?
And they're not displaying those anymore. I'm like,
right? Why exactly? What's the reasoning?
But I think that's a really good point, Adam. The Spanish conquistadors like burned the Mayan codex, and on top of mounds and any type of earthen structure that was sacred to anybody in South America, they plopped a church on top.
Right.
You know, it's
this is the religion now.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. That's typical
we can't
human.
That.
So
we can't explain
that's the human condition.
The question is, would science do? Well, science do that, and
definitely,
absolutely. I think every culture does that.
Science.
Every culture does that, where they come in and they say, this is our land now. They wipe off who was there before, and they put their thing there, regardless of what religion or culture. I think that's everywhere, and that includes science.
Gary, I don't know how to answer this, and I want to know your answer first. Someone just put a poll in chat. It's, do you believe that giants existed in the past? I'm gonna click an answer. I know where I'm leaning. Actually, I know what I'm gonna click. I'm curious what you would click, Gary. Is it yes or no? Because those are the two options, and I don't like those two options. Just saying.
I don't like those two options either. I think they could have. I think.
Well, then why isn't that an option? Who did this poll?
That's me.
X-Ray, you're fired.
Me.
Oh, you're lucky I don't have that authority.
The eject button.
I hit the button and I get.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
you have to choose one right now.
Fine. I will.
It's a complicated question. Is
well,
what it is. And what do you define giant as? Is a giant what is a 30-foot tall human?
I don't believe they exist.
Or is it an 8-foot tall, larger than normal?
Hold on, we got this.
I'd say larger than 8 feet, probably.
I think 8 or 9.
Let me pull this up. Hold on.
I'd say larger than 7 feet to 9 is like a giant.
Do you know how much we have of Denisovans? Like
we have like a leg bone, a tooth.
A tooth.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's like a knuckle. It's
So
one knuckle
the
and a
reason we know
tooth.
that Denisovans exist is a finger bone and a tooth.
That's it. Is that one tooth that they showed?
That's the one. That's the one I sent you.
Yeah, that one. Okay.
Voice crack, man.
Yeah.
So look at this. When does one become a giant? There's people that are 8 feet tall, right?
I think 18 feet is ridiculous. I don't believe that is a scenario.
Yeah, that sounds ridiculous.
But I think 8 feet.
I think 8 is reasonable.
But 8 foot would be a giant to most everybody in the past, and even
which we have photos. The giant, the largest man ever. You go to Ripley's Believe It or Not. He's 8-9 feet tall.
From all the Native American traditions and traditions from the Mediterranean are that they are proportionate. It's not gigantism. It's they are big humans that are incredibly strong. There's stories of them lifting, giant boulders that were the equivalent
thousands of pounds,
and they could fuck you up. And there's different, like from different histories, they were either benevolent, they were wise, they were nice. And then there's some that were just straight up cannibals and savage and feral. So it was
tomahawk.
I was listening to a podcast, JRE podcast, and it had a journalist on there, and she was talking to biologists that are working in the field right now, trying to create regeneration in humans.
Oh,
like
interesting.
they're in the lab cutting like lizard legs off and watching them grow back and trying to figure out how they do that and break it all down. And she's like, "Why do you think it's possible that humans can regenerate? That sounds impossible." Okay. And they said
Kurt Connors,
well, you were one cell, and then you were 2 cells, and then you were 3 cells, and then you grew, and then you grew. So you have the ability to grow new limbs. We just haven't figured out how to activate that, basically. And that kind of reminds me of
an idea. What if you?
That's a terrible fucking idea. Terrible fucking idea.
Nothing wrong. You got another head coming out. You got 2 penises. I mean,
we should not be meddling with this at all. This is like Jurassic Park level of not messing with genes. But what I'm thinking, like kind of connecting that to this, is we had other strains of humanoids, right? There's other branches of the tree. Is it crazy to think that we had larger, and we know it's in our genes to actually form larger beings? Was there a whole branch that just made larger beings thousands and millions of years ago? And then now we're just hearing the remnants of that through culture, through myths. It's turned into that throughout the years. I don't know if that
makes a good point.
Potentially, it could, because according to one of the documentaries I watched with Jim Vieira, they said that giants apparently procreated with humans. So
30,000 years ago, he said.
Well, maybe. And that's why I say
that's
maybe.
Right, and we've passed down these stories of these giants and the giant people, and they would see them as like a larger being, like, these are more important than us.
There's 6 fingers, 6 toes,
6 fingers,
double row teeth.
What's up with the 6 fingers, 6 toes, and
tell me, chat.
Polydactyly.
Polydactyly.
Then the Nephilim, those are also stories, and that's all around the world. So,
but to Jim's credit, in one of his lectures, he does show throughout the world there is cave paintings, there is handprint with
6 fingers,
6 toes.
So the guy who killed Inigo Mentor's father, the giant.
Yeah, maybe.
Apparently, allegedly.
Did we just connect something?
I think we did.
Well, so humans and giants wouldn't be able to procreate together because there is something genetically when you inseminate things with other species, there's a block on the egg. So if it's like a human and a dog wouldn't be able to have a baby, right?
Why would you say a dog?
Not if they're close.
That was a really random thing.
That is a really weird thing to go straight to.
I don't know. It just was the first thing I came in my head because I saw a little mark here.
You say like Tanuki
Mario.
That's Mario though.
He's Mark. He plays Mario in Mario Kart or Tanuki Mario Kart. But anyways, back to the point.
You can't procreate with other species, what you're saying.
No, and so that's why I say if it actually is true there is some sort of genetic link between the two that they're enough to make them allow them to have kids together.
Well, yeah, like Homo sapiens and like the Denisovans, they could procreate together because they only had like a 2% difference in their genes, and the same with Neanderthals.
And
I
they've
think
traced Denisovans throughout the world, and
because they thought they were originally just in Russia, but then they found them.
Australians have some Denisovan DNA, and others, you know, just like there's people with Neanderthal DNA, like a very small percentage of it.
And I don't know if Denisovans are like giant people, because what I watched this whole documentary on just the Denisovans because I was like going down that rabbit hole. And that tooth, because the picture of the tooth, and I'll bring it up, it's compelling because you look at that tooth and you're like, what?
Did you look at the artifacts?
The Denisovan artifacts, like the bracelet.
They were
like the drilled hole in it.
They drilled a hole in it. It's insane. And they had you know, they had that.
You got it.
They had sewn clothing. Like they were really advanced. Yeah.
So the explanation for this is that they had larger molars because they had to grind up more plant fiber, like harder and tougher plant fibers. They were eating less meats like we eat now. So that's the explanation for why they're larger. But still, like, it's fascinating to kind of go. They don't know. I mean, it's a theory. Yeah. They're going off of their theories. But it's fascinating kind of rabbit hole to go down.
That's a massive tooth.
It's fucking huge.
Tooth. The dentists would have made so much money off the Denisovan.
2 rows on each. Oh, wow.
Well, I find it interesting that this guy kept mentioning that there was this skull that the guy found that you could wear as a helmet. And like he said that multiple times.
Like you could put it over your own face. You can put it on your own face.
It's kind of gross to think about. Like, I don't want to do that. And did this guy actually do it? Did he parade around like, look how big this human skull is? And like,
just to focus on just America, which is not the only place that we have accounts. Like back in the 1800s and 1900s, where Jim Vieira really started digging down the rabbit hole. And with Hugh Newman, he does it too. And that's Megalithomania. It's a good channel. It's a really good channel. And they focus on megaliths most of the time. They found Jim Vieira is the one who like collected all of the news articles, and there's thousands from all over the country of, we dug in a mound, we were digging up a railroad, we were doing this, we found an 8-foot guy, a 7 foot 8 inch skeleton, in a mound we found an 8-foot skeleton, you know, in with like beads and shells all over it, you know, because it was royalty, you know, he or she was royalty. And it's just again and again and again. And, you know, kind of like with Bigfoot, it's like, okay, let's just say 96% of this stuff could be bullshit. But man, there's so much of it that, you know, there might be something to it. And even if it was a different race of humans or just a bigger version of humans that was dying out post, you know, Younger Dryas. And I'm just spitballing here. And, you know, maybe they were, you know, civilized at one point. It got destroyed. Maybe they were the Clovis people. We don't know because we haven't found any Clovis people yet that we're allowed to dig up.
Right. Apparently, I had a theory. Yeah. Finish what you were saying. I have a theory.
No, I was just saying, apparently, according to one of our friends out there who listens to us, they have found mound spots that are below that mat where they have found skeletons that could be Clovis people, but they're not allowed to dig them up. They can't because it's on Native American ground, and that is illegal.
Interesting. Yep. I wonder if the Native Americans could have their own archaeological dig. Like, inside our tribe, we're going to have a dig.
They probably could
learn about it.
I mean, could the people that would want to go, like the archaeologists that would want to go dig that up and like see what's going on, get permission? Would that be the way to do it legally?
You think you would try to get permission, treat it with respect, put it back when you're done, take pictures and do what you need to do, but put it back when you're done.
I'm sure a lot of tribes are like, you know, I just don't want to get fucked with anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like, just don't.
No, it's our land.
Before you broke a couple of promises in the past.
Fair.
Can't blame us for not trusting you. Right?
Yeah. Good call.
I agree. Yeah. You get it.
Yeah.
The Native Americans will not allow anyone to dig anything anymore. Yeah, I saw that in the chat. And
Well, you look at
Get it. I
Catalina,
get it.
right? I don't remember the name of that.
Fair.
He was known as an amateur archaeologist too. He wasn't like any sort of professional. But the guy who bought Catalina Island gave this guy permission, like, oh yeah, like go into the interior and just have at it. And the guy just started digging up everything. He had pictures of him with like 100 human skulls.
Ralph Glidden, yeah,
Ralph Glidden, yeah,
Glidden,
that guy.
And he made like a
it was like
a whole museum out of bones, and it wasn't like, hey, this is an intact skeleton that I found. He like made chairs out of the bones and stuff.
Yeah, it was gruesome and weird, but it was very of its time. That's the kind of weird shit that they were doing back then.
Yeah,
I mean, they would parade around bodies and shit. Like, remember the Old West when the bad guys were killed, they would put them in a coffin and like put them outside of
the sign that said like insulted the sheriff's mother or something.
Look around and find out, basically.
Basically.
So
found out.
It was of its time. It was bizarre. I wouldn't have done it. But what happened is the guy contaminated his own work, though, because he was digging up. He was funded by, I forgot, some massively rich guy who bought Catalina Island, and he was digging up giants. And these are where we have pictures.
Right.
These are where we have pictures. But then he got defunded, and he needed money, so he made the museum, and then he started buying skeletons from other places to make his museum, and it just mixed up all the bones. And Vieira and his brother were talking about it on the show. That's why L.A. Marzulli's take on it was much more, believe it or not, from the super religious guy, was much more scientific. It's like, what the guy did was shitty, but it was like 100 years ago, and it was already done. But like Vieira and his brother spend so much time in that episode. It's episode 4, just bitching about the guy. This feels dirty.
Like, look at this, man. This is just wrong.
It's like, bro, come on.
It's like, yeah, it was wrong. It's not good. We shouldn't have done it like that, but it was done. Try and move on.
I like L.A. Marzulli. I don't subscribe to all of his theories, but his Watcher series has like some freaking amazing episodes. Like he got some crazy footage that I'll spend the time screenshotting. Yeah, that's what it is. The elongated skulls and stuff, but he got some footage I haven't seen repeated by anybody this day. Brian Forrester got I've told this before, got access to this place in Peru. It's just a sandy desert with bones everywhere, just spread everywhere, because the grave robbers came in and just threw the bones around and took all the gold and everything. But it's all like elongated skulls. It's crazy. It's the Paracas people. And
it's just tragic about humans.
Some of them have red hair. Now they were still brown skinned, but they had red hair, which is weird.
On Catalina, that's what they spoke to one of the natives. He said that there's like nine people from the tribe that originally lived there, still living on the island, and he was telling stories about his grandmother and how she would talk to him about the giants, and they had red hair and they had fair skin, so they were white giants, and they think possibly it was something like the Vikings at some point, or some other culture had found that island, and that's how they got the light skin and the red hair from, and stuff like that. But
it's probably some cross pollination going on,
Yeah,
we humans do that. But we'll do the elongated skulls someday. But they are connected to giants, and some of the pictures of them, the eye sockets are freaking huge. I mean, like, everything about them is huge.
So this is Giddin guy, Ralph Giddin. All right, and what these lines are Glidden. Yeah, Glidden.
Yeah.
So this is someone was doing, like, because you could see this skeleton, and they were analyzing and comparing how tall he was, which he was 5'8", and then how tall the skeleton was, and they estimated that it was about 8 feet tall. So this is the picture of him finding this big skeleton. And I also find it interesting that bowl that he found that had the young girl in it, that had the giant that was right next to her with the spear through his chest. It's like, what is going on here, man?
Yeah. And I also look at it and think like
are they like, is that like a vampire? No, I'm just
what did you say?
I don't know if they buried him like that or not.
Yeah, right. What happened?
Yeah.
Or was it like some kind of like ritual burial?
She was in some sort of weird bowl.
Yeah, she was in a bowl.
And when I first saw the bowl, there's nothing around it. You can't really tell how big it is and then you see it later on in the episode, and it's actually massive. Like the guy's standing next to it, and it's like this massive bowl. And I'm like, oh, it's way bigger than I thought it was.
Of Glidden like holding a skeleton that, again, you can't tell, but it looks big. It looks really freaking big. Now, this guy could have been just a little guy, but
he's 5'8", so average.
What I can't
think, right? 5'8" is average, right? I don't
I think 5'9" is average, but that's fairly average size human.
Yeah. Okay. Post-giant era.
Post-giant era. That's right. So we also have, I've got some, I've got like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the lectures pulled up because there was some pictures a little later on. I got a couple of pictures of some from, I think, the 1800s. I believe it's from South America or Patagonia, somewhere around there. A guy got a picture of two very 7'7" guy and a 6'6" woman, but they're naked. So we gotta
can't show it.
Got to do it later. Let's see what they say about you. Have you heard about the Lovelock Caves in Nevada? Have you guys heard?
I have not. No, you said Lovelock, and I was like, ooh,
Lovelock. Yes,
something I don't know.
Love Lake. It's Lovelock. It's Lovelock.
I think you said Lovelock. I didn't hear Love Lake.
It's Lovelock. So the Lovelock Cave, basically, these guys were going in mining guano. And there was like
guana, or is it guano?
Guano, bat shit.
Chicago.
Go. Gotcha. Get out of here.
Gotcha.
And it's like 3 or 4 feet deep in there. And after they dug it up, they dug up a bunch
guano?
of artifacts.
4 feet of guano.
Yes.
It's a lot of guano.
Wow.
That's a lot of bat shit. And they also found some bones that, mysteriously disappeared again.
You got to be crazy to go in there. Some might say
it's valuable, isn't it?
Batshit crazy.
I'll give it to you.
That was pretty good.
That was terrible. Come on, guys.
No.
Thank you,
quality.
X-Ray.
That was quality dad joke.
Someone needed to cringe, though. It was bad.
You're welcome.
It was too easy, though. I was like, all right, no one's going to do this.
Think it's a coincidence that the dads laughed at that?
Yeah. All right. No, you laugh at that, huh, X-Ray?
You made a joke about dad jokes.
That's like a jokeception right there.
So, Lovelock Cave, a long time ago, had a body of water in front of it that you could have a long time ago accessed from the Pacific Ocean. So
underground.
Now this cave was like next to a lake. It was like it was next to a lake.
But what do you mean access?
There was a river system that you could have followed from the Pacific Ocean and got there. This was
underground.
Ice Age shit. No, not underground. Like
just the river went all the way to the
yeah.
Okay.
They found now, and that was the theory behind like how anybody could have got here because of what they say about these potential giants. Again, this is just we're just talking here. Okay, I don't know if any of this is true. This is ancient origin. Is this the ancient origin site, which is now like ridiculous with ads? It used to not be, but times are tough, I guess. Lovelock Cave, a tale of giants or a giant tale of fiction. The Paiutes, a Native American tribe indigenous to parts of Nevada, have an oral tradition that they told to early white settlers of the area about the race of red-haired white giants or barbarians that are their ancestors referred to as the Sea-Tet-Ka. I'm not sure if I said that right. Oh, well. The story was written down in 1882 by Sarah Winnemucca Hopkins, daughter of Paiute Indian chief, in her book, A Life Among the Paiutes, Their Wrongs and Claims. These giants were described as being vicious, unfriendly, and cannibalistic. In the story, the Paiutes speak of a great battle that took place, which led to their extermination at a site known as Lovelock Cave. During the early part of the 20th century, archaeologists found thousands of artifacts inside the cave, leading to a lengthy excavation of the site. Speculation that the Paiute legend was real. Not sure. It's just stuff this is like one I've heard all the way back to the Art Bell days. The Paiute legend, Situka or Seduka. Okay, that's easier to say. Literally translates tule eaters, or in the northern Paiute language. The tule is a fibrous water plant, which, according to legend, was woven by giants into rafts in order to escape attacks by the Paiute. They used the rafts to navigate across what remained then of Lake Lohotan, an ancient lake that once covered most of northern Nevada during the last ice age.
So if these guys were cannibals and they lived wherever they lived on this planet, and the humans were trying to thrive, and they're like, hey, there's these giant humans that are really strong that are eating us. Maybe we should kill them all. Like that,
maybe we should take them out. Yeah.
Maybe we should actually. I mean, they mentioned the word extermination. It's like maybe that's what happened to them. Maybe they were just like the evil ones got the stereotype that all of them are evil and are cannibalistic, even though some may have been not evil. And they're like, doesn't matter. We're just going to wipe out all of them.
It doesn't matter if one of them is stealing our children and eating them. They're probably going to get pretty upset and kill them all. As the Paiute humans, after years of warfare, all the tribes in the area joined together to rid themselves of the Sadukai. One day, as the tribes chased down the last remaining red-haired giants, they took refuge in the cave. The Paiutes demanded their enemy come out of the cave and fight, but the giants refused. The coalition of tribes proceeded to shoot arrows at them while starting a large fire at the mouth of the cave. The smoke drove out a few who died in a hail of arrows, while the rest were all either burned alive or asphyxiated. Over time, the entrance of the cave would collapse, leaving it accessible only to bats and cut off from human contact.
Wow.
And this is the myth?
Yeah, this is the myth.
That they tell that they're...
The tradition.
Legend.
Lovelock Cave, also known as Bat Cave. Hey, Horseshoe Cave, Sunset Guano Cave.
That's my favorite.
What about Batshit Cave? and Indian Cave is located 20 miles south of the modern day Lovelock, Nevada. It's a very old cave that predates humans on the continent, and prehistoric times was underneath the lake. In 1886, a mining engineer from Lovelock named John T. Reed was told of the legend by local Indians, who took him to the site to prove it existed. Reed was unsuccessful in getting an archaeological dig started immediately, but two miners, James Hart and David Pugh, realized the value of guano as an ingredient of gunpowder and created a company to start digging it out in 1911. They stripped a layer of guano from the cave approximately 3 to 6 feet.
Holy shit.
That's a big pile of shit.
Using a pick and a shovel with little regard to the artifacts, and shipped some 250 tons off to the Hawaiian fertilizer company in San Francisco.
Man,
250 tons of bat shit.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of bat shit.
What was in that poo?
Oh,
I'll never know.
I don't want to know.
Gunpowder.
I want to know.
Turned into gunpowder,
man.
Alfred Kroeber, founder of the University of California Anthropology Department, was contacted by Hart and Pugh when they reported finding prehistoric artifacts. This spurred the first archaeological dig of Lovelock in 1912, led by L.L. Loud. I loved everybody who was like, just had names like
L.L. Loud.
L.L. Loud.
What's up, Triple L?
I'm waiting for a Buford to somehow appear in this legend.
Buford T. Justice.
Buford T. Justice. Of the University of California, back when it was a university, which is not now. A second dig took place in 1924, and after finishing the excavations, Loud collaborated on a report that was published in 1929 with Loud. What Loud found was nothing short of amazing. Approximately 10,000 archaeological specimens, the ones that were left that the guys didn't just toss away, were uncovered, including tools, bones, baskets, and weapons.
Wow.
According to the report, 60 average height humans were unearthed. Duck decoys, among the oldest known in the world, with feathers still attached, and a sandal over 15 inches, 38 centimeters long, were excavated. A donut-shaped stone with 365 notches carved along the outside and 52 corresponding notches inside was found. That's weird.
That's a big ass sandal. All right.
That is a big ass sandal. I was trying to find my
that's a
measuring tape, but that's like
15
this big.
inches? Come on.
Donut-shaped object with the amount of days there are in the year and the amount of weeks.
Yeah, that's
pretty weird too.
Sounds an awful lot like a calendar.
It sounds like calendar, but yeah, a 15-inch sandal. Must
15 inches.
Very popular amongst the ladies.
Most ladies probably couldn't handle that sandal.
Well,
no. They're going to be limping.
I'm sure some tried. Okay. Maybe that's what the Paiutes got mad at.
Kept killing the women.
Hey, man, don't hate the player.
Our women are leaving us.
Death by snoo snoo. Wait, what's the other version?
The red one.
We got no women left. The guy with the
skewered
handle, which some scientists believe is a calendar. I don't know why you would suspect a donut-shaped stone with 365 notches and 52 corresponding notches as a calendar. That's outrageous, scientists. Interesting radiocarbon dating done on following visits found vegetable material dating back to 2030 BC, a human femur dating to 1450 BC, human muscle tissue. Whoa, how did they get muscle tissue? Dating to 1420 BC, and a basketry dating back to 1218 BC. Archaeologists concluded that that human occupation at Lovelock Cave by this culture started about 1500 BC, except you found
2030 BC though.
Matter at 2030 BC.
Well, vegetable material. So that, it could have been plant life that was just in the cave. Maybe.
Okay. You're right. You are right. Today's anthropologists call the people who lived in the area the Lovelock culture, with the period lasting some 3,000 years. Many archaeologists believe that the Lovelock culture was replaced by the Northern Paiutes. Yeah, because they killed the giants in the cave. There is some debate as to the veracity of the claims made regarding the Lovelock giants. During the initial excavation, there were reports of mummified remains being found. 2 red-haired giants. One was a female, 6 foot 5 inch tall, and the other was a male, 8 feet tall. However, no such evidence remains. There is evidence. Here it is. There's a picture of it. It's at the University of California. You can still go and see some of the Lovelock stuff. I don't know if you, well, I mean, it belongs to the state. You should be able to just see it, but you know how things go. In Sarah Winnemucca Hopkins' book, Life Among the Paiutes, Their Wrongs and Claims, she does not mention giants, but does refer to so-called barbarians. Skeptics claim that chemical staining by earth after burial was a likely reason for mummified remains having red hair instead of black, like most Indians in the area. A study done at the University of Nevada indicates that giants were about 6 feet tall and not up to 8 feet tall, as has been claimed. So you're saying there's giants. They're just 6 feet tall, not 8 feet tall. How do you know? Do you have a body?
Yeah, that sounds like complete conjecture.
Where's the study? Like, what are you studying if there's no bones?
Yeah, if this was all poppycock, why are you studying it? Why are you saying they weren't that big?
How do you know?
I mean, it's not. People were 6 feet back then. But
they talk about the sandals. They talk about the
sandal.
To others, the uncovering the 15-foot sandal at Lovelock Cave is proof enough that the Paiute tale is real. In the article published in the Nevada Review Minor in 1931, in February and June of the same year, it was reported that 2 very large skeletons were found in Humboldt dry lake bed near Lovelock. There you go. One of the Lovelock skeletons was reported to have measured 8.5 feet tall and was later described as having been wrapped in a gum-covered fabric similar to Egyptian mummies. The other was supposedly near 10 feet long. They just said long. So here are the duck decoys they have. They said long. I'm just going off of what they said. Some other evidence for the Lovelock giants includes a set of images showing a handprint more than double the size of a normal man's handprint and a stone boulder in the cave, which was released by Bigfoot investigators M.K. Davis and Don Monroe in 2013. That's not too long ago. Along the Peru-Bolivia borders, skulls have been found near Lake Titicaca. I like Titicaca.
One more time.
Titicaca.
Now faster.
Titicaca. Titty.
5 times fast. 4 times.
Titicaca. With claims
slowed down, but we'll take it.
Titicaca.
With claims,
wait, hold on.
I'm immature.
Titicaca.
Yeah.
God.
I'd be so scared if someone came up to me and said it like that.
You're just in your room at night alone, and it's all quiet, and all you hear is just
Titicaca. It's like
I would be that woman in that video. Do not approach.
Yeah, do not approach. Do not
consent.
Chill.
Back off.
Titicaca. With claims being made that they were from giants with reddish hair and elongated skulls. Well, I've seen the elongated skulls with red hair with my own eyes, video evidence that wasn't doctored in any way. Just go to Brian Forster's channel, search elongated skulls. He has an extensive library. I would dare say he's the expert on the Peruvian elongated skulls. I don't know what his background is. I just think he's an obsessed Canadian who lives in Peru, who just went down the rabbit hole of ancient civilizations and never came back like us.
I have a picture of that handprint.
You do?
So here's that handprint that they were talking about in the article.
Throw it up.
And here is a.
Is there something to compare?
Closer. It's his hand
knife?
With a knife.
Holy shit! It's way larger than I expected.
He's so big.
This is a clearer picture of it. That's why I picked this one up.
It's interesting too, because there's another.
There's like a little.
In one of these videos, they were talking about different examples of other, like more recent humans that are giant and were huge. And he goes all through. There was like a king that was actually a giant in Europe, like 400 years ago or something.
Yeah.
And this one guy supposedly had like his hand was like 8 inches across.
8 inches.
8, like it's the palm of his hand was 8 inches. I mean, I don't know. I got like a 4-inch palm.
You ever see Andre the Giant's hand?
I have 8 inches here.
Do you ever see him holding like a soda can? It's like he's holding a little.
Wait. Yeah. Now take your hand and put it behind it. That's nuts. Imagine that as a hand.
Imagine getting smacked upside the head with that. You'd be dead.
You could just grab your head and pick you up.
Yeah.
Probably.
You'd be dead.
Shaq's
calm down.
Pretty close
calm down, X-Ray.
Someone in the chat said that was quick. I know this is 2 inches because I have to measure for X-raying.
I was gonna say something.
We've got a bone expert.
I'm not gonna say it.
I know this is 2 inches.
This is 2 inches.
I know it's 2 inches because
various reasons.
I got some questions for Mark the Cyborg. Just never mind. Never mind. Just kidding.
Mark, I love you, man. I love you.
Mark.
You one-legged bastard, you.
See, he even has one leg here.
He does.
Oh, there you go.
And 2 inches? Is it 2 inches long?
A little longer.
Okay.
I just want to tell you, Mark has a better sense of humor about his missing leg than I do. Okay, he's got a.
He's great. Mark's awesome, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, Mark's great.
Yeah,
he's been joining us on
Mark.
Side Colors. He's great. Is this his birthday today?
No.
But happy birthday
It's
anyway.
lore. It's lore. Don't worry about it.
It's lore.
I love it.
All right, so where were we? British here. Okay, the legends tell of the Euros Indians making reed boats and living on the islands of Lake Titicaca, which, don't they have those floating islands on that lake too? To the Paiute. The Incas apparently drove them to live this way, much like the Paiute ancestors apparently did that to the giants at Lake Lawton, probably for good reason, because they kept on losing their women to them. Today, many of the original artifacts found at Lovelock, but no giants, can be viewed at the small natural history museum located in Winnemucca, Nevada. Ooh, that's so far north, though. I go there.
It is really far north. I
like
looked it up too.
It's by near Reno, but not near Reno. Objects such as the duck decoys are housed in the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C. I'd rather go to northern Nevada than Washington, D.C. And the basketry and bones belong to the Nevada State Museum.
Where's that?
I don't know. Is it in Vegas? That'd be cool if it's near Vegas. The site is significant in archaeological context because it is an example of a legend being confirmed by archaeological evidence. In this case, legends which the Paiutes elders have been telling their tribal children for years. Oral tradition that, again, you see doesn't fit the scientific paradigm. So this is also what Jim Veer is talking about when he's talking about racism. He's not talking always about the SJW form of it, like everybody's being oppressed, neo-Marxism shit.
Mm-hmm.
He is talking about the bias within the universities that's even held over from 100 years ago, even though like we see them as absolutely like these progressive liberals, but they're, like we always say, they're as backwards as anybody from 100 years ago. They will, the same people they judge harshly, they have the same bias. They when something doesn't fit their paradigm, right, they're just automatically, oh well, those are just the savages. They aren't saying savages, but that's they're just completely discounting their oral tradition, which has been passed down. And it's not like they willy-nilly did this. The medicine man would sit him down and you would, and this is for Egypt. This is for a lot of cultures. Their oral traditions were important enough that you had to remember them word for word.
Right. Your whole life, you would study the same words.
So I think
that's ingrained.
So I think that's just absolutely super dismissive of the Paiutes.
That last sentence also made me think of something too. Like maybe I hear about colonization and all that bullshit, right? Where the tribes were warring and taking each other's land back and forth before,
that's why we were able
the Spaniards came.
Because there was a time, even when the Spaniards came and they were like heavily armed and stuff, some tribes were very nice. Some tribes were nice, welcomed them, fed them. The people left in peace. Some weren't, because people were different, but they were warring with each other. If they were united, we would have had a lot harder time colonizing this country.
When I was listening to the gym,
let me finish that. Let me finish this point real quick. So imagine this is what they tell each other. They tell their younger generations, because they don't want them to know that, we were just warring with them and just totally decimated them to oblivion.
Well,
so we're gonna
almost
tell
like they're
story,
humans, just like us,
trying to make themselves look better. History is written by the victors.
The Navajo and the Utes were. That's the whole story behind Skinwalker Ranch. Is the Navajo put the curse of the Skinwalker on that area because the Utes were enslaving their people, and they allied themselves with the U.S. government to take out the Navajo. And the Utes and the Navajo used to get along. So
the lost colony of the Roanoke tribe, and the other tribe there, I forgot the name. They were warring at each other, and they used the settlers as a pawn in their little battle between each other. So yeah, it's not like the colonization came in and then this beautiful monolith culture that was here and perfectly organized, and then it disrupted it all. No, it was just warring like every other civilization on the face of the earth.
And a lot of it we brought over disease, and
that they weren't prepared for, and they gave us diseases.
They did
that we weren't prepared for.
The American government did put smallpox in blankets, so
that's pretty fucked up.
really fucked up.
They had smallpox in the blankets. I don't know if they gave them smallpox.
That's
Something just fell down.
Something just fell down.
Yeah.
The site is significant in an archaeological. I read that one. In fact, the Phoebe A. Hearst Museum of Anthropology at the University of California published a paper on Lovelock Cave in 2005. Had this to say: the site has been extensively pot hunted, and many materials remain in private collections.
There they are
in a museum.
There they are. There's the giants.
I'm telling you, some of our greatest artifacts belong to Russian oligarchs, Elon, who knows, a bunch of billionaires.
John Trump, looking at you.
Did you know that there are like billionaires
Trump's
don't
uncle?
Like
Trump's
we
uncle.
assume we know about every billionaire. We don't. There are billionaires who never want you to know they're billionaires. Never want you to know, and it's those guys. And honestly, that's smart. You know,
Yeah, I wouldn't
just brag about that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff in private collections. I'm sure most of you know that. Lovelock Cave, despite years of destruction, is one of the most important sites in the history of North American archaeology. Lovelock Cave was officially designated a historical site in 1984. Interesting story.
It was a good year. It was
That's a really cool story.
someone who was that was the year I was born. So
it was the year. I was going to say
great things happened that year.
They did for me too. That was a fantastic year for me for a lot of reasons. I'm not going to.
You lost your virginity.
Yeah.
Good year.
Yes.
Good year.
Is it? Is that really it?
1984.
1984. I always have 1984. And it's gonna be on the 4th of July. I saw my own fireworks.
It's a Chad year for Gary.
Oh, that's funny.
America.
I lost my virginity on the 4th of July. That's true. True story.
Nice.
But y'all wanted to know that, audience.
That definitely earned a toasty. You're welcome, chat.
This is for you, Gary, in the chat.
Smooth. What's that one called?
Cool Gary, I think.
Cool,
I don't remember what
Gary.
it is.
Cool guy Gary.
Okay, so I want to show a couple of pictures since we're late enough to change the subject. Let's talk about Paxton Hayes a little bit. Okay, now this is the guy that Jim Vieira liked, and quite frankly, I did too, because it's kind of messed up what happened to him. Now, Paxton Hayes was an archaeologist in the early 1900s. Invited to the White House, was a bit of a celebrity, but then was completely shunned. And it was believed that he lived his life in squalor and shame. But he discovered giants, and it went against the paradigm, and he was excommunicated from science, but he continued his work. There is some pictures, and I found him. So they mention him in
the interview his son.
They interview his son, who is he's Mexican. Now this is in the Sonora Desert, and the Yaqui Indian tribe. They are like not to be messed with back then. If you went there and started digging around on their land, they would drive you off. They would kill you. But Paxton Hayes assimilated. He went in there, treated them with respect, ate with them, lived with them for months, and they allowed him to search around, and he found two giant mummies. And
okay. This is the first picture that I posted. I wanted to talk about that. I think so. I have it in. It's in the thumbnail. It's that one, right?
No, that's not the Paxton Hayes one. That's the one. That's the famous giant one. That's the one that looks the most real to me. There's a couple of more that I'm going to show you.
I'm going to share my screen.
Share your screen.
Is it this one? He said that there was a professional photograph taken of this mummy that these two guys found. Now they're like 5'10". So this is 10 feet tall.
That's a
9 feet tall.
That really looks like a mummy. It does, like the other.
It really does.
Looks totally fake. Everything looks, but this one, it's hard to tell because there were so many charlatans back then.
Yeah, tons of them.
But I would say that's a pretty.
Let me see if I can enhance that so I could see like the contrast
pretty convincing
on it.
Fake.
I mean, let's see, Western Portrait and View Co. Yeah, I mean,
it's the same era. They'd have like a monkey and a fish stuck together, and they'd be like, "It's a mermaid."
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But that looks pretty good. It looks like a really good mummy.
It's convincing. I'll just say that it's convincing.
I'm gonna enhance the in Photoshop.
Computer enhance. That's you, Garrett.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, that's a different image, right?
All right, so we're gonna go to Paxton Hayes. I can't play any of this because I don't have. This is on Megalithomania UK. But here are. So that is actually Jim Vieira managed to get the original print. That's where they found. They found these mummies, and it's basically I forgot that name of that structure in New Mexico. It's a lot like that. So that's what you're looking at. If you're having a hard time seeing that, here, I full screen it. That's basically it's in a mountain. Now this place is in a deep valley in the Sonora Desert, a place you can't just get to. Even now, you would have a hard time you'd have cartels to deal with, all kinds of crazy shit. But it's in a valley. Nobody knows where the location is, but he got pictures of it. And even that's one of the wrapped mummies.
This reminds me of a place in southwest Colorado. There's a bunch of valleys that have these like 800-year-old. I want to say brick, but it's not brick. Stone buildings that are like under these crevices in these mountains. It's pretty cool. These Native Americans used to live in. Very similar to that, actually.
Did giants roam in Mexico? Explorer Paxton Hayes holds a robe found in a cave once inhabited, he says, by blonde giants that once lived in what is now northern Mexico. This also creates a lot of problems because when you hear Graham and Randall being accused of racism, it's conflated with all this stuff because some of the giant lore, including Catalina, is it's white people with red hair. And,
also Atlantis was connected.
Think about
the Nazis thought Atlantis was the Aryan race and stuff like that.
Yeah. So they automatically just go to this.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, they did.
This is wow, trying to whitewash history when it's just not the case. It's just not.
I just want to know about it.
We just want.
If it turns out they're all black, I don't care.
Yeah, but what's your skin color? Your skin color is white.
Or Paxton Hayes.
Racist.
It's racist, I guess. Yeah.
One, his son was half Mexican, right? And he lived with the Yaqui Indians. I don't think he was like this massive racist. He treated them with respect. He didn't remove any of these artifacts. He just took pictures. He didn't fuck with any of their shit. Other than that, so credit to him. There, I do have an article. I didn't pre-read it, so it could be wacky, but let's find out.
Let's go down the rabbit hole.
Find out. Well, I mean, you got to watch out. Some of these articles are just fucking whack. All right. So yeah, this is from a paper when he found 2 7-foot mummies and an 8-foot skeleton. Blonde giant remains found. Discovery made by scientists in Mexico City. There were blonde giants yesterday in the land of Manana. Paxton C. Hayes, an explorer, has dug up a prehistoric civilization in northern Mexico area of Barranca de Cobre, which appears to prove ancient legends of huge blonde Mexican giants. The ancient buildings in the cave, Hayes said, were constructed of a cement-like masonry mixed with bamboo. The huts look like mosques. According to Hayes's guide, Rafael Garcia led the way some 90 miles into the mountains of Alamos, Sonora. About his startling discovery, Hayes said, every basket we found contained a body wrapped like a silkworm. There were 34, of which 2 were women, 9 were mummified, and the remainder were skeletons. When the bones of the mummies were laid out properly, the various bodies measured from 7 feet 6 inches in most cases up to the largest skeleton, which was a full 8 feet. What is that word?
Feet.
Herpetology? Is that like the study of herpes?
It says it right there.
Herpetology?
Study of snakes.
Herpetology. Oh, there it goes. The study of snakes. I told you I didn't pre-read this. Led explorer Hayes to the Yaqui region in Barranca de Cobra. I like that name. He had been engaged in snake research when he first heard the Indian tale about the lost city of blonde giants in Sonora. I gotta go back up here. Having great faith in the Yaqui Indians and their strange and little-known tribal history. Strange. Hayes decided to run down the tale of the centuries-buried giants. We dug down the volcano ash, Hayes said. Below, there were burial baskets made. By the way, in that area, there's a huge, I think that's near Sonora, there's a massive volcanic field in Mexico. You could see it from space. It's huge. We dug down the volcanic ash. Below, there were burial baskets made of mats woven from fiber and bound with twisted yucca rope. Hayes says he found his huge mummy at the 7,000-foot height. The question is, how did these huge, Mongoloid people get into Mexico? The greatest mystery of Hayes' find, and perhaps the key that made one day solve the riddle of the Mongoloid past. With the
is that a bad term now? Mongoloid?
I
use it all the time.
Well, I think you're a Mongoloid.
It just makes
I call
me
my
think
brother
of
a Mongoloid.
Your brother is a
Heads,
Mongoloid.
dude. It's such a good song, dude.
Oh, you're
He
right.
was a Mongoloid. Bam, 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 bam.
The riddle of the Mongoloid past, where the is that safe? It says saf from colored burial robes found in the giants. There may be a great historic tale behind the powder blue designs of latch hooks and pyramids that embellish the robes. Interesting. Hayes thinks that the tiny series of white dots that recur throughout the robes are symbols of ancient Indian time cycle, and working on the theory points out that if it be true, the white dots, God, stop that, add up to 25,000 years. He took the burial robe. That's
a long time.
What was the period of the great solar year?
23,000 years ago.
23,000 years. Okay. So I can't remember if it was 23 or 26. Chat, you can help me out with that.
Oh, wait, no. 26 does sound better. You're right. I think it's 26,000 years.
Because that's close to 26,000 years. Just saying. He took the burial robes to the chiefs of the Seri Indians and Tiburon Island off of Mexico, West Coast. They were puzzled as Hayes. They had no idea where they were from. This possible lost world is northern Mexico may prove to be one of the most provocative pages in history of our North American continent if Hayes' theories are correct.
So think about the Younger Dryas, right? And what that would have meant for North America. So Canada is covered in ice. And the further towards the equator you get, the warmer it is. And Mexico would probably have been fairly lush, right? If people were living there, it was like in between the equator and the ice that was up there. So it's probably like a lot of people living there. It would make sense, actually.
Yeah, at 7,000 feet. Yes. Remember, that's where they initially thought agriculture began, was at 10,000 feet, which is just weird to begin with. It's like, why would you start way the hell up there? But we know that's not.
I enhanced.
You enhanced it.
before.
Well, it looks like a woman.
It does look like a woman.
It looks like a woman.
But what is a woman?
I don't know.
You're right. Could be a man.
Did you see that Babylon Bee?
Which one? Jeez, they're on fire.
Dude, they were on fire today. They said, kids hunting for Easter eggs are surprised by Matt Walsh in the bushes, who explains that's physically impossible.
It's physically impossible
for bunnies to lay eggs. There's a picture.
He's like sticking out of the bush.
That's so good.
It's hilarious.
That was funny. Sorry. Yeah, it kind of looks like a woman, or maybe it's just I don't know. There's a lot of talk about androgyny in the past. Yeah, androgyny.
Well, supposedly the Native Americans had a word for someone who didn't think they were a man or a woman.
What?
I have no idea what it is. That's what they say.
I was gonna Dylan,
and I don't care. You're a Dylan,
an outcast.
You're a Dylan.
No, that's a man actually.
That's a man. It's straight up.
So
that's probably a dude, because he looks very dead and rotting.
Yeah,
it's hard
probably
to tell. You know, we all kind of rot down to the same thing. You know?
If you see that thing running down at you and it wants to eat you, I'd imagine you feel a little threat.
I'd run away.
Yeah, I mean,
shoot a bow at it.
It's not a 9-foot tall zombie mummy coming at you.
How badass were the Paiutes to take these motherfuckers on? Like, just it's like, we're going. Let's go.
Like, look, guys, I'm sick and tired of these giants always taking all of our women.
Yeah,
it's do or die.
Let's go. Let's get together. It's a lot of us.
Rage of incels. Yeah. Behind them.
Just reeing all the way to that cave.
Before they even knew what it was.
The native incels fought back. There's a movie in there somewhere, guys.
All I do is be nice to these women, and they just keep rejecting me.
What? That whole story would make a great movie.
True.
I would love to watch that movie. That'd be cool.
That'd be freaking cool. I love how the giants are depicted in the Green Knight. That's really cool.
I've not seen the Green Knight yet.
What is the Green Knight? Is that some Marvel crap?
No. It's a Arthurian tale.
It's Arthurian tale. The book was translated by Tolkien at one point. I have many leather-bound books,
and it's
and
worth watching.
Rich mahogany.
It's like a legit quest. It's really good.
Yeah, it's.
I
really
think I need to see this.
It's very shroomy.
The new one, the new movie. It's very
it's visual.
I haven't seen it yet though.
Story's a little light, but
it's worth it though.
Yeah, dude. The scene with the giants is awesome. It's
with the big women, watching. Right?
Yep.
The giant women.
The big woman.
Snoo? Is there Snoo?
No, it's Lizzo.
Oh God!
Things I can't imagine. What, Gary?
Fatality.
All right, so we're gonna let's see if we could find the naked pictures. Okay, here's one. Then we'll get to soups.
Dude, wait. They're not connected, right? You're
this
segueing into
not
something
Lizzo.
different.
Not Lizzo.
No.
I was about to be like, guys, I got my bedtime.
Audience. My fellow members of the audience, I like you. I wouldn't do that. It's Garrett who always shows the pictures of Brie Larson's feet.
Hey, it's you guys that keep talking about Brie Larson.
Is that a thing? No, never mind.
As soon as you
no thing, and Garrett shows it. I'll kick him right out of this.
I'm gonna bring Garrett into the stream tomorrow, and it's just gonna be her feet. And I'm gonna be like, ah!
His little avatar when he goes off cam.
Hey, as soon as everybody stops talking about Brie Larson, the feet.
All right, so
don't talk about her.
Here's one picture Jim Vieira found and copied in a newspaper archive.
That looks like a drawing to me.
That's an illustration.
No,
that looks like a drawing.
That is a bad copy of a bad picture from the early 30s. They can look like illustrations sometimes.
The hand is pretty good. The one on the
better
left.
than AI art.
It's a pretty good hand.
Not an extra finger.
Then
it's not like.
Well, if there was an extra finger, maybe giants. It's a 6 fingers.
Here we go. Okay.
Yeah, that's the AI
you guys
hands.
Ready?
Man.
You guys ready for this? I can put my.
All right, ready to see it.
I'm gonna put my cursor over the wee so it kind of blocks it.
Oh my goodness.
This is for scientific purposes. All right, educational.
For a second.
This is for educational purposes.
gonna show for a
We're
second.
educating you all.
Use my cursor. All right, here we go.
But you're gonna have to move your
Scared. I'm not
cursor to
gonna
actually
lie.
bring it in.
So like fast.
Yeah.
Is it a girl or a boy?
Fastest cursor in the West.
It's one
a
of each, I
boy.
think he said. Oh no,
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
boy.
It's a boy. Hang on, I gotta make
Just
sure.
hold your hand over the screen. That'll work.
All
I can't see
You
it.
better believe
It's
it.
good.
I can't see.
right, everybody, get ready to hold your hand over the screen. There we go.
Ah!
All right, so this, according
Ah!
to Jim Vieira,
All right, it's not
is
intimidating.
is a very big dude from Patagonia.
Oh, this is the chief. This is the chief.
from Patagonia.
Right.
That somebody got a picture of back in the 1800s, and he's 7'7". 7'7". Okay, real quick.
Nothing to reference the size though.
It looks like it's just a nutsack.
It might be cold. Okay, it's
Everyone
cold.
looked.
I was in the pool.
They don't know about shrinkage.
I mean, like, wow.
Maybe it's just all head. It's like a big
on the Nerdrotic channel. It's just happening.
education.
He got to put it up on his shit, so why can't I do it with mine?
This is like a National Geographic.
Okay, that's true. I guess.
You know?
It's like
Well, he
that.
clearly wasn't Jewish, so.
All right, so wait, we got a lady too.
I'm sorry. I got maybe one or two more in there.
That's what she said.
All right,
High
so
five, X-Ray. Good
this-
teamwork
That
there.
was good. That was
woman,
really good.
Yeah.
6'6" woman, you immature. She's supposed to be big too.
I mean, they
It's
look
amazing
like
seeing
big
them
people.
proportionate.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you want to think of giants as 7, 6, 7, 8 foot, like I can buy that. I can buy that because there was a ton
Yeah.
of megafauna that was really fucking big 12,000 years ago. There was
Right.
4
Absolutely.
species of elephant on the American continent. There were the woolly rhino that was as big as a freaking school bus. There was the short-faced bear, which was as big as a van. There were 20-foot sloth.
That's why they lived at 7,000 feet, because they were avoiding all that big ass shit that they couldn't
so-
contend with.
They're like, we're not going down there.
Like,
There's a
why?
rhino the size of well,
There
in
you go.
10,000 years, it's a bus. You don't know what it is
Somebody
yet, but
said
it's
it, like-
huge.
It's like a big
Oxygen
rock.
levels must have been higher.
That is a frightening profile picture.
That is a really frightening
Jeez.
profile picture.
Wow.
Please get rid of that. What? I'm gonna have nightmares of whatever the fuck that is.
Nightmare.
Yikes.
Sure.
What the fuck was that?
no
Holy
way to talk
shit.
about my sister, bro. No, just kidding.
Wow.
That is so mean.
My
Woo.
sister beat the shit out of me, by the way, for saying that. I didn't specify if it was my older or younger, though. So
Now they're both gonna beat you up.
yeah, so like, if the megafauna was huge, and there was these giant mammoths running around,
Everything was
the
huge.
first time I saw a 20-foot sloth, there's a skeleton of one at the Museum of Natural History in London, and I saw it. I'm like, that can't be real. I've never heard of a 20-foot sloth before. And when you're standing next to it, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
probably pretty harmless, but if you still saw one slothing up to you,
I don't know. They
I'd
had
be
some pretty
slothing
big
the other way.
claws. Like I wouldn't want to fuck with it.
No.
Yeah,
and more
no.
importantly,
Heck.
how did they survive? They must have been able to fight things off.
Exactly.
How do they survive now? I
look
don't
at their
understand.
claws? Yeah, they have one in is it the Natural History Museum in New York? I think it's the Natural History Museum. I don't remember, but in the like as you're approaching the dinosaur area from the other animal area, kind of like in between there's one of those bones, and I was standing there like,
Yeah, you're like, it's
that's
insane.
wow, that's huge.
I went, no way. So I was expecting it to be like thousands, like millions of years old. And they're like, no, it's like 12,000. I'm like, that thing was
Wait.
walking around.
So,
Amazing.
I
So
mean,
how do
those were
sloth-
big.
How do
People
sloth
be big.
people be big? Yeah. Like, why not? Why not? And how do
X-ray,
sloth-
where are your hands?
Come on, get those hands up. No, no,
What,
no.
what is that?
There you go.
There. Thank you.
And
Thank
how
you.
do-
That's like hands up, don't shoot. Like,
I didn't know
different.
what you wanted me to do.
I mean, just
You're like, what?
just open your eyes.
Sloth survives now. A sloth survives now because they sleep on a tree 23 hours a day.
They never leave.
They never leave.
They're
Yeah,
freaking cute though.
Do you ever? I know. I was gonna say the same thing. Do you ever
They're
see one in real life? They're so nice.
they're
Nice
adorable.
little guys.
All right,
The guy who saved him from the road and puts him on the tree,
Put him back in.
and it like turns around, and it like looks at him.
says,
and
thanks,
it's
bro.
so sweet. And then he turns around. I mean, it's like a 10-minute process of him looking back and being like, "Thanks, bro." And
Can you imagine how slow the big ones are then? The 20 feet ones? Even slower.
Well, it's like the giant thing though. They seemingly are moving, but they're actually pretty fast.
Yeah.
But in their perspective, you know what I mean? It's like they're covering so much distance, but
Darramouth for $5 says Sonora Desert. You say, didn't they find some World War II planes out there?
Say what?
Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's what he's talking about.
Oh,
It's one of the greatest openings in film history. That movie opens up like a banger. That's a great movie.
I've seen that in
Never seen it.
theaters twice.
Whoa. You've
With
never
the
seen
potatoes
Close
and you
Encounters
stick up the
of the
potatoes,
Third Kind?
and then he puts the
only
dirt in his
film
mouth.
Steven Spielberg wrote and directed.
Bro, you
Is
gotta
that the
correct
entire
that.
One of the
title?
greatest
That's
John
Close
Williams,
Encounters
Yeah, of the third kind.
of the third kind.
Who's the actor in it?
Richard Dreyfuss.
Dreyfuss. He looks up and he says, and then his face is burned.
Is there like a scene on the water where he like raises up and he's like on top of some sort of like alien thing?
That's The Abyss.
Yes,
I'm thinking of
that's
it.
stupid.
That's not Richard Dreyfuss though.
So one of the
And this
great-
movie is like the early 80s.
one of the
When
I've
did
great-
that
never
come
seen
out?
it.
no,
Never
it's
seen it.
1970s, late 70s.
It's
So
70s.
it's one of the greatest UFO movies ever made. The effects stand up today. They're made. The great Douglas Trumbull worked on it, and they actually had real UFO people.
I'll watch it.
working
It's
on
a legit movie.
It's
You
a
gotta
yeah.
watch it.
legit good movie,
I
and
like it.
it's
Something to watch.
E.T. is its sequel, basically
Cool.
unwritten, but it is. E.T.
I'll keep that in mind.
Great movie. I'll watch it tonight. I got it in 4K, baby. All right. Ready for some soups? Soupy doopy.
Yeah.
All right.
Get them giant soups.
Get those giant soups.
Thank you, everyone. You guys
Thank
are awesome.
You are awesome.
Don't be mad at me because I didn't see the movie. I see you guys mad at me.
I'm mad at you.
Look,
They're mad at you. They should be. You should be ashamed.
You could be mad at me. Bring back public shaming. All right. Let's bring it back. I'm all right with it. It works.
X-Ray Girl, you want to talk about our we got an affiliate link
Yes.
for
Yes.
Listen to this. Go.
What?
the Cosmic Summit. You go.
Yeah, the thing.
Girl.
Say the thing.
There we go. Link is in the description. Mods have the link. I don't 100% know the discount, but you can get Cosmic
But it
Summit.
exists.
Yes.
If you're going, go
So-
through our affiliate link
We're going
because
to
we've got
Cosmic-
one.
We're going to the Cosmic Summit live. It's unfortunately, if you want to go there, it's sold out, but it will be live streamed.
Yes.
So this is the link for the
I will
live.
be there on live stream.
It's on HowTube. We now have a HowTube channel, right? As it stands, only one of our episodes is up there because it takes a minute to upload it, but eventually all 13 of our episodes will be on HowTube. You can also purchase Randall Carlson's brilliant 2-part Atlantis series
It's
on
good.
HowTube.
I've
If
seen
you
it.
follow his account, but like this will be a live stream that we will be at with Jimmy Corsetti from Bright Insight,
Shout out to
Carlson,
Jimmy. Great videos.
and Graham Hancock. It's in
Yeah.
Asheville, North Carolina. It's on June 16th. It's the weekend of June 16th. Again, they're giving us access to guests, apparently. So we're gonna probably have some interviews. We might have a table there. I got it. Like
There you
I'm
go.
sure
Oh,
Yeah, we're working on a table.
we're working on a table.
hors
And
d'oeuvres and wait. No, sorry, no.
no, but like,
foods.
we're
Cocktail
gonna-
weenies.
It's gonna be fun.
Oh no.
It's
Okay.
gonna be fun.
Let's
Oh,
say
I'm on the front page of the site. That's cool. Thanks,
me-
thanks, guys. They
Yeah.
reached out to us.
Are
They've been
they?
nothing but kind. They are
That's
really
rad.
good people. So thank you.
Yeah, they
We're-
reached out to us. Thank you.
Yes.
did they
That'd
really?
be so
Yeah, really
exciting.
grateful for this
That's cool, man.
opportunity. We will pump this thing all the way to the event. We will publicize it, pump it, whatever.
Pump it up.
Just like those red-haired giants.
Hypothetical question real quick.
No, but we'll be shouting this out. I'll shout this out on Friday Night Tights and all that good stuff. So
let's say I get to stateside and it's June. And
you're gonna go. We'll get you there. If you can get to the freaking States, I can get you the rest of the way. I'm interested.
If you can get partway there, Gary will take that.
I'll get you the rest of the way, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it.
I think, dude, let's do it.
Hell yeah. I want to meet those guys.
This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Like these are my rock stars.
Yeah,
so I'm going.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait. I cannot wait. June's gonna be nuts. Lots of Forbidden Frontier stuff in June, folks. We got Contact in the Desert in the first weekend. We bought our tickets, so we're going to Contact in the Desert, and I'm gonna do a show every night. I know Adam's got his other shows, but you'll be free for the Sunday one at least. So we will do the Sunday show to wrap up the entire event, and then Dallas Fan Expo for the nerdy stuff on the Nerdrotic side the next week, and then Cosmic Summit, the big one.
It's a busy month.
And
awesome.
This is the best gig in the world thanks to you guys. So hopefully we can bring you lots of fun, entertainment, and information. That's right. And if you watch it here, it's all free, baby. It's all free. You do have to pay for the live stream, but I think it'll be worth the money. And if you're really into this stuff and you love Randall and Graham, definitely worth every penny. I have never regretted spending a penny on those guys. They always deliver some of the best lectures, most informative lectures, and they're really fun and entertaining too. They're really, really good at that. They're
great storytellers.
Yeah, they're really good storytellers. Randall's like so animated and funny. It's hilarious. Yeah. And he's based. So we like Randall just for that.
It's true.
We do. All right. So let's get to your questions. Sebastian Anon for $20 says, off topic, but I think that ancient civilizations might have figured out sustainable energy. Those sites around the world along the globe could have been harnessing the magnetic field of the earth. Advanced societies need lots of power. I agree. I do believe ancient civilizations, even the Romans, had more technology than we. I mean, the Antikythera mechanism,
100%.
But they kept it from the masses. It was only the elites who had it. Kind of like now.
I don't know about all the civilizations, but I do think that there are plenty that did have like the serfs and the elites.
Yeah,
that separation.
Well,
they want the power.
Let me go back on that a little bit. Thanks to capitalism, now we have more affluence, wealth, access to technology than we ever had.
Thanks, capitalism.
Free of man. So thanks,
True.
Capitalism. John Stossel did
freedom.
A great video yesterday on that. Go check out his Twitter. It really breaks down why. You need wealth to spread it.
Was it spawned by the Indiana Jones trailer?
It should have been.
Okay. Terrible. Sorry to bring it up. That's horrible. It was
fucking horrible.
It's capitalism.
Okay. To put that, Disney exists because of capitalism.
Yes, it does. That movie
exists because of capitalism. I have every vintage toy ever made, and that is pure capitalism from that movie. So to knock it is very Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I can't wait until like her trend and the sun sets on her career, which I don't think is deserved at all. I think she's terrible. Josh Kelsey for $20. Thank you very much. I mean, I hope she enjoys all the money she made from capitalism.
Yeah.
And lives a long life. Crash 6674 for $20. Brian Forrester got DNA test done on the elongated skulls down in Peru. He says they came back non-human. Neck holes are in the wrong spot, and skull sutures are missing. I know the DNA results, and it's expensive, and finding somebody willing to do it, he had a really hard time. But Brian Forster's a good one. He's a good one. Follow him. all he does, he just walks around. He leads tours, but he's a really serious dude. He's kind of funny in a way. But he leads tours, and all he does is like has his handheld camera, and he just like walks around Egypt and stuff. It's just like so killer. God, I want to go to Egypt so bad.
I know.
Lance Johnson has gifted 5 Nerdrotic live memberships. Lance, thank you for $25. Hey, it's the Shagworth, your man bun brother.
Yeah, buddy.
Fun bros.
Oh, boy.
Hey,
Fun bros.
What's up,
You
Shag?
ride a Vespa.
I did.
Yeah, you said it. You admitted to
I
it,
did ride a Vespa. I also rode motorcycles too.
and you said you'd happily ride a Vespa again, and that you miss it.
I would ride a Vespa. I like Vespas. They're cool.
Thank you. You're proving his point.
There's nothing.
You can't make fun of
Dude,
his man bun and
I'm
have
just
that
saying.
kind of attitude with the
Are you
Vespa.
gonna
By the
say-
way,
okay,
wait, Gary, hold on. I want to say
are you saying the
I-
who's gay?
I have a Vespa and I love it also. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, I like Vespas.
You're just
They're
as
cool.
gay.
For moped. They're the only moped I would freaking ride. Okay,
It's actually a Yamaha Chappie. All right,
Yeah.
from 1973. So it's
Oh,
got some
nice.
cool-
I'm not
it's
allowed to
mustard,
ride anything
mustard
with
yellow.
2 wheels. My wife said it would kill me the way I drive and stuff.
I'm not
And-
allowed. To
Yeah,
ride.
you on
I'm
2 wheels
not
would be
allowed.
just dangerous
I
for
drive
everybody.
I drive too crazy and I have no peripheral vision at all. So it's
Yeah, not a good
not
idea.
A good idea. Not a good idea.
It's not. Yeah.
No.
The Shagworth for $20 says, just wanted to drop a Jackson for the boys and X-Ray. Have a blessed Sunday and Easter, fam. Back at you, Shagsworth. Love you, man.
Love you, bro.
Despite
You
fun.
Jags.
You know what you can do? You can make your man bun look like a cute little Easter egg on your head. And you can do that.
Can you cut your hair? Can you even have a man bun anymore?
Who, me?
I feel like it's a
me.
neblet.
Who else am I
Uh,
talking to?
I don't know, man.
I'm not asking
me.
Gary.
I can't make a man
Yeah,
bun.
I think I can at this point. Whenever I cut it,
It's like
this
a
is
little
Nerdrotic cut
tail.
it. I couldn't do it, but I think I might be able to do it now.
Oh, okay.
I may rocket it at Vegas because it's so hot there.
Yeah.
Because it's practical.
You know what? I hope you do. I hope you do. As a matter of fact, I want you to.
I could
Ask
just see
Mina.
Gary with his little scissors, just
Yeah, I don't know
like
what
coming closer.
No, really, I won't do anything to it. I promise.
I think I saw someone make a meme.
That's assault. That's assault.
From The Last Samurai, where
No.
he's
Oh,
cutting
yeah.
your
Yeah.
hair off
Yes, that's a meme.
in the
It's
street.
not assault. if
I
it's
am the
not
good
assault.
guy in that meme, by the way. I'm the good guy. If you look at the context of that meme, I'm the good guy.
Magnum Norse for
the
$20.
victim. Actually,
Nobody knows how to deal with poo better than San Francisco, or not. I'll give you that.
not deal with it. Nice.
Bashy Washy for $50. Bashy.
Hey,
Bessie!
Love you, Bashy. Thank you. Gary, watch Tetris. It's a 12 out of 10. I heard it's so good.
I heard,
I heard that
well,
movie is legit. So
Really?
Craig said he didn't enjoy it as much as he hoped, but I think he had too much expectations. Because
Craig-
we were talking
oh,
about it all
Stuttering
from
Craig?
from side scrollers. Yeah,
Really?
and I think I'm gonna like it. I think I'm. We had the CEO of Tetris on the show the
I
day before it
saw.
opened, and we were talking to her. Really cool. I'm kind of
I
excited
didn't know
to see it
Tetris
myself.
had a CEO.
I know.
We streamed it early on, and it will do it again later tonight. It is worth the time. Mums Fund, X-Ray Coffee, please. X-Ray Coffee.
He's
Oh,
always asking me for coffee.
I mean, everyone's making coffee companies. You might as well.
well, hey, Crigler Coffee, Crigler brand coffee, Crigler Coffee.
No,
Crigler
there's no
Coffee,
brand in there. It's just Crigler Coffee,
Regular
baby.
coffee. Got
Crigler
We're-
Coffee.
we almost
Link in the
have a new
description, by the
blend.
way.
Link in the description, by the way. Drink it early and often.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right before bed.
Right before bed. You'll still get.
Don't
to
drink it
sleep.
before. Don't,
I
yeah,
need
don't
to
drink
buy that coffee, but it doesn't send to Canada.
No, sadly no.
Well,
I can't even
you
send it
In
to
a
myself.
country, so.
I was about to ask you guys, maybe one of you guys.
we don't. So, yeah, Crigler Coffee doesn't send its prioritized coffee, its intellectual coffee to communist nations. So
No Crigler coffee
You
in
think you
Comic
could
Land.
smuggle it back?
yeah, because they would steal it. I'd steal it like all the communist nations. I would.
Capitalism.
Capital.
Someday you'll move to America, X-Ray Girl. You'll be
One
free.
day.
One day.
Hopefully.
I mean, you guys vote in prime ministers because they're handsome, and we've voted in dead people. So
Yeah,
we're
well,
not much better.
Who's got the
Okay,
better
okay.
situation? That's
I should. Someone said Crigler vodka. It's funny. I should do a Swedish vodka and actually say Swedish vodka because, like, Svedka. It's not
Svedka.
actually Swedish. It's not Swedish vodka.
you should.
I didn't know that.
It's made in America. It's
What about Swedish berries?
totally a
Nice.
lie.
Put the flag on there and everything.
Swedish berries are amazing. My forest.
Yes.
You walk through my forest in the summertime. I'm not joking when I say this. There's thousands of blueberry bushes, like
Ooh.
everywhere,
Just wild
as
blueberries.
far
Love
as the
them.
eye can see. There's straight up. That's how many blueberries.
Do you have any
everywhere.
lingonberries there?
If you go in
There's
the
lingonberries. Yep,
You've been to
lingonberries.
the
I got.
East Coast. You've been to the
You-
East Coast. You were there. You can like get raspberries and blackberries.
I got raspberries. I got
Shrooms,
blackberries.
magic shrooms.
I haven't found those yet. Not really looking, but
You don't want to know where
You
to
never
look for
know.
those. You don't.
cow
I had a
shit,
guy
right?
when I went to
Isn't it?
Chaz. I was on my way back and I was walking at the beach in like Washington because we were like decompressing, and he was hanging out. He's like, "Hey man, let's go show you all the cool stuff around here." And he was like, "Yeah man, like 20 feet up in that that tree line, you can get all kinds of shrooms. Not right now because it's not the season, but like that's where you go." I was like,
You gotta wait
okay,
till
old
the cows
man.
move out.
Yeah, and they
very
grow on them.
careful. Don't.
meat
I
patties.
just would not advise that because you could get the wrong shroom.
I don't-
And
I- I
die.
don't
And
like-
poison yourself. Yep.
I don't like shrooms.
Yeah, and
Not-
you don't
not
want to
a
be.
fan.
I've
kicking
never done
cow- Like
shrooms.
most of the time, you would kick the cow patties. That's what you do. You
What
kick
does
the
that
cow-
mean? Sorry, I don't know
the
drugs.
Shrooms
speak.
grow
Do you know
under
what
the cow shit.
They grow
Oh.
on them.
You know what a cow patty is though?
No.
Cow
What?
pie? No. You ever been to a farm ever?
Dude,
No.
X-ray
Think about it.
girl.
Think about
I
it.
won the Oroville cow chip chucking contest. I won.
Did you do like a spin, like a frisbee? Or did you chuck it like-
He threw it freaking 30 yards, man. Totally won that shit all the
Dang.
way in my age bracket.
That's
I
a
was-
solid cow pie. Like
Oh,
integrity of that cow pie is pretty.
Yeah.
Wait,
good.
you
Had
threw
to.
poop?
I
Yes.
threw poop and I won.
Ew.
thrower.
Why?
Yeah, but it's all grass though.
That
It's
was
not
in
even
Ol-
really.
that was
For
in
the
a Ville.
flex.
I was
He
in
wants to
Oroville.
listen to him flexing. Like, listen to that flex right there.
I take
He earned
every precaution to not touch poop. That's ugh.
I touched
Well, I
it
mean,
with
I have a
it's
dog.
dried.
with my bare
It's
hands.
dried.
I
It's
probably
dried.
grabbed a hot dog when I was done and ate it. Didn't give a shit.
Do you ever add fertilizer to a
So you
plant,
took
X-ray?
a cow's dingleberry.
Yes.
All right.
These
I
are
mean,
big
they're
dingleberries.
quite large, though.
These are yeah.
It's like
Why?
they're called cow pies. They're about the
Cow
size
pie.
of a pie.
They're like legit this
Wow.
big.
Yeah, and they usually
well, that's
fall apart.
really big.
Like,
That's like a
like
giant
this
pan.
thick.
That's a
and
bull.
like this round.
My,
It's a bull
mine,
pie.
mine was like an Adobe brick. It was great. Why does the
I
QBD
miss the country.
quarter black Garrett skeleton have a man bun? Ask Andrew Matthews for two
Integrity. Just holds back there.
Integrity.
You see?
Integrity. Nick asked for $4.99. I'd love for you guys and X-Ray Girl to do a show on cryptids and undiscovered things like Mokele Mobembe, which is Mokele Mobembe is the upright chimpanzee. No, is that the dinosaur? Is that the
I
dinosaur?
don't know.
I think it's the dinosaur.
You
in the
see if
Congo.
Google is
Dinosaur in the Congo.
Mokele Mambembe.
Mokele Mobembe.
Mbembe. I like saying
Bigfoot
It
that.
doesn't know.
and wait, I got to finish this. Mokele Mobembe, Bigfoot, and Gavin's Wang.
Hard to find. I don't know if we're gonna be able to find that one.
I don't think we can find. We have a better chance.
It's too hard to research.
You know,
Much
micro telescope.
Yeah.
Might need a magnifying glass.
Mike, you mean a micro?
Borrow Gary's glasses.
There you go. What are the? Wow, what are the? It's not a microscope, but it's the scope that sees like way down. You have
Oh, yeah,
to use,
it's like it scans the
it is-
surface.
What is it called? What is it called?
Molecular telescope.
Something like that. I can't remember.
Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, that sounds good. It sounds good.
That's
Close
what you'll
enough.
need.
Okay.
So I know
That's all we need for the joke.
That's right.
Hey,
A nanoscope? Is that a real thing?
Well, that works too.
It's the one you
Yeah,
can
I'm
see like
believing you.
tardigrades with.
Super tiny PV
Tardigrades
scope.
are cool.
Super tiny PB scope.
I think that's the one.
There you go. We figured it out.
Hey, you lost your V card in 84. I was born in 85. Are you my daddy? Patrick L. Son, I'm sorry I never came back with that pack of smokes.
Damn. Harsh.
Brutal.
Patrick. Yeah. Hangry is angry for $5. Hey, Gary, are you doing a meetup in Asheville in June? Love this show and hoping all three of you can make it in June. We'll be there at the event. I mean, we'll probably like go have dinner somewhere. I'm up for it.
Drop it on Twitter like we're eating dinner here. See what happens. Maybe we shouldn't do that.
That's probably
not a good idea.
Well, Garrett, I don't know.
Like,
Do you drink alcohol? Does Garrett drink alcohol? Garrett drinks alcohol.
What kind of question is
Go
that?
to a bar and I can get like a Red Bull, and Garrett can be a lush and drink, and we could probably meet there.
I only do it in special occasions.
Yeah, you only roofie yourself in Vegas.
Vegas? Yeah. And Vegas is
Well,
going
hey,
up.
when you're in Rome, you
Our
roofie
own mini
yourself.
hangover.
Poseidon 625 for $10. Have you had a chance to watch Two-Face and Gray yet? No, I have not. That would be interesting considering Skinwalker Ranch coming back. I need to watch that. Maybe tonight. I've got some time to watch. I have free time.
Are you going to be all right?
No, because it's
How are you
going
gonna
for a
spend
day. Well, I was going to do a Star Wars video. All right. I was going to go right down, do it like a recap of Celebration. But then I got big news today, and I am so excited. The Marvels trailer drops on Tuesday. The sequel to Captain Marvel trailer drops on Tuesday. It's
Great for our channel.
I
I'm-
cannot wait.
I'm probably going to watch it and talk about it on Side Scrollers. And I'm probably going to laugh at it. It's probably going to be pretty bad.
I imagine it will be cringe to the 10th degree.
Oh my god.
Cringe squared.
I'm gonna be disappointed if it isn't.
Christian nieces for $10. If I remember correctly, the Templar heresies were falsely admitted under torturous interrogation. Well, that doesn't mean. Never mind. And later recanted by the last Grand Master Jacques de Molay before his public execution and burning. Well, there was one. I mean, this is just from the lore. You're probably right, Christian. But I was watching Ancient Aliens. Okay, so Ancient Aliens said that there was some kind of that they were, when they went back to France, they were being the accusation was a demon with red eyes was talking with them in the voice, and Giorgio Tsoukalos said it was a machine that was talking to them. After, because it's the Lost Ark of the Covenant episode, which from season 18 that I was watching, and they believe that the Templars took it back, but then there's the belief that the Ark went to Ethiopia. Everyone knows Indiana Jones got it. Okay, so that's a fact. That's just an objective fact.
Obviously.
John Cunningham for $10. If there was a comic book series that took place 15,000 years ago, what is now USA? Would it work better as a quasi Western or fantasy? And would you all read it? I would do it quasi fantasy. Well, because you like if you based it on the Giants, right? So what? Remember the film 10,000 BC?
I never saw that one.
What it tried and failed to do, basically. So in 10,000 BC, it's a Roland Emmerich produced, or it's basically a caveman among mammoths and saber-tooths, but he ends up in Egypt. And the pyramid,
really?
And they have a guy.
Thanks for spoiling. I just told you I didn't see it.
Dude,
I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you.
Years ago, and there's supposed to be like an Atlantean there, but he's all radiated and stuff. And I watched it once, and it was terrible. But the concept was rad. They could have done something great with that concept, but it was Roland Emmerich. So, or Roland, right? It was Roland Emmerich.
I have no idea.
Magnum Norse for $10 as a biotechnologist. It seems improbable that an extremely large human didn't live amongst the dinosaurs, but there are no skeletons yet as far as I know. No, there are none. But Graham Hancock was wearing a shirt on Joe Rogan on his last appearance that said, things keep getting older. And the human species keeps getting older. The anatomically human species was originally thought to be 100,000 years. Then it turned into 200,000 years. Now it's looking like 300,000 years. Here in the States, nobody was here before 12,000 years. Then it was Clovis. There was no people before the Clovis. Now they found footprints in New Mexico. And like, there's more than enough evidence that we go back 25, 50, maybe 100,000 years. If you want to go off the mammoth bones that were found in San Diego when they were doing Interstate 56, right? The one that they never finished. That, don't get me started on that. But it's a freeway. It goes fucking nowhere. But while they were digging that up, they found some mammoth bones and they found tool marks on it. So there was some form of human, Neanderthal, who knows? There was some form of human here in Americas a long time ago. And that's the other part is, like you say, indigenous people. Well, nobody was indigenous people. They came through over the Bering Strait, through the ice corridor. So they're from Asia. They aren't from here. But there was a people that were from here that died out. So the indigenous people of America died. Technically. Alpius for $10. I am an Orthodox Christian. Our tradition
it is to unclean spirits equal spirits of the giants. Yeah.
Lost it for a second. It just went blank on me. In Saint Ephraim, Hymns on Paradise, he describes Hades or Hades. Hades. Is it Hades? Oh, okay. I've never seen it spelled out. Being filled with the corpse of the giant Rephaim and Samson. Is it Rephaim?
I'm not sure about it, but it sounds correct.
Hades.
I can't see any of the words, so
Talking Crow for $9.99. Hey y'all, my wife had a booth at the Metaphysical Fair in Sarasota last weekend. I met Jim Vieira there, and I talked to him about your show. He seemed interested. Hope you didn't watch this one.
Oh,
hey, thank you.
He's like, let me tune into this show.
Hi, Jim. If you're there.
No, we weren't. I think it's fine.
Yeah, Jim, you seem cool. Don't get into all that culture war shit. Trucker Rob for $10. So Gary, I was looking around for things on Jericho, apparently founded. Or by the way, thank you for mentioning our show to Jim. Sorry.
That's actually really rad.
That is awesome.
Really, cool. Really awesome. Thank you.
We appreciate you. Trucker Rob for $10. So Gary, I was looking around things on Jericho, apparently founded around 9,000 BC. Yeah, it's one of the first cities. It's in the first few. If you don't count the pre-Diluvian cities that are actually in the clay tablets from Sumeria, and had defense walls at 8,000 BC. Quite wild. I also have an interesting theory about but it's long, so I'll email you. Do that, please. I'd love to read it. Yeah, the Jericho exists.
Yeah.
Andy plays games for $10. So Picard is an amateur archaeologist in the 24th century, and the Enterprise has the tech to scan a whole planet. So one could assume that he knows all about Göbekli Tepe in its entirety by now. Neat. Yes.
True.
Yes, they probably dug it all up.
Yeah, what's the point of an archaeologist at that point? You just have a computer that can just scan the whole thing.
Oh, maybe like other planets, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe by now they found all the...
You have to interpret, I guess, what you find.
Well, I mean, when we finally colonize Mars, that's when we find the megaliths on Mars, and then we start finding them on other planets, and
the giants are there too.
Asteroid field,
giants are in Mars.
The asteroid field used to be a planet that exploded, that basically blew off Mars's atmosphere.
It was Atlantis.
Our planet a little bit, and
that was Atlantis, and it seeded Earth. That was the Younger Dryas.
And they're Sasquatch.
I don't know. I'm just running with it.
Sejong the Great for $5. Late and Prison Loved. Oh.
Hey.
Wow. Thanks, Sejong.
Look, we used up all of our on-time on FNT.
The rest
that
of
was
our
the
lives.
whole year. That was the whole year's allotment of being on time.
It's already... I don't even know what time it is.
It's been 2 hours, Adam. Time for you to go to bed.
What time is it? I don't even know where my phone is.
It's
Swedish
8:44 p.m.
clock.
Eastern.
So that's like almost 3 a.m. All right. I love this show. I'm so happy to be a part of it. I'm gonna look into this summer because I want to visit my grandma. She actually just fell and broke her hip this weekend.
Oh.
Really kind of bummed about it.
Go visit Nana.
I haven't seen her in a while. And I miss her. So I gotta get stateside. It's been a while. But you guys are awesome. Chat, thank you for tuning in to this awesome show. I know you're tuning in for these two guys up here. And probably this girl over here too. She's pretty cool. She's all right. But thank you very much. Make sure to check out my daily show with Stuttering Craig. Side Scrollers returned. Well, I added the return, but formerly Screw Attack. Stuttering Craig started something new and wanted me on board, and we're having an absolute blast. Come check it out. And then, of course, Tuesday Titans and Bay Staff Mondays with Garrett. He shows up every Monday night. And then, come check out all my stuff. I also stream on Rumble and Locals. Been playing a lot of Destiny 2, doing a lot of raiding. Fuck Lightfall. It's a horrible expansion, but the gameplay is fantastic. Bungie knows what they're doing with gameplay. I just hope they don't keep going down the woke road, which seems like they are. Anyway, you guys are great. I'll see you next time.
See you, brother.
Take it easy, Adam.
Bye.
Adam Crigler, everyone. Buy his coffee. See him on Side Scrollers. I'm Studying Craig. Say hi to George for me. George!
George!
Will do.
Later,
Peace,
bro.
guys.
Bye.
Adam Crigler. What a good guy.
Adam Crigler.
I like Adam. All right, back to it. God, I'm like, do I want to watch Close Encounters tonight or more on this stuff? More Skinwalker Ranch stuff.
Yeah, I've got a marathon that all 3 seasons.
Yeah, it's coming up, right?
On the marathon,
Next week.
It'll be on a week from this Tuesday. A week from this Tuesday, it comes back. Trucker Rob on the Streamlab side for $5. Thank you, Trucker Rob. Seems why did I say sugar? My sugar chat. Yeah.
My sugar.
My sugar.
Hey, Trucker Rob. Seems my super chat didn't send on my end. Anyway, I was researching. Oh, I saw it. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, we got it.
We got it.
Sorry, bro.
We got it. I could send you back that $5 if you need me to. And it was similar sentiment. Anyway, Gary, I have a theory about the walls, but it's long, so I'll email you. Email me. I'll read it. Thanks, brother. Drive safe out there. Okay. We need you.
Trucker Rob's
We
good
need
people.
the truckers. We need the truckers.
Truckers are awesome.
On 2-lane roads, sometimes they're not. I just try to keep my patience because it might be Trucker Rob in front of me.
Yeah, you never know.
Oh, or when they overtake each other and you're like, ugh.
Yeah, it's like
Or when they do that and they just sit like this.
Yeah,
for
you
like
gotta cut
ever.
that out. You gotta cut that out.
Why are you passing that guy and why is it taking it a half an hour?
Yeah. We're 50 miles down from when you started
Honestly,
this.
I have a fear of trucks because I had I think a car load in front dropped a bunch of like wood chips or like pieces of wood, like large chunks, and it whipped around a truck and hit my car.
What?
Yeah, it was so scary. Not my fault.
creepy.
Not their fault either.
You were just there.
It was just there.
Hey, Corn Pop's here.
Hi,
Hey,
Corn
Corn
Pop.
Pop.
Corn
He's a
Pop.
bad dude.
He's a bad dude. Yeah, you got mentioned in our Mandalorian video.
He did.
Well done.
Eh?
Oh, yeah.
Two great
cameo.
editing jobs. Two great editing jobs, my brother. Really freaking. I started that freaking Rings of Power video going, this will be an easy one. It's just a victory lap. We're going to just do a couple of things, 10 minutes tops. It's 20.
Hollywood Reporter, like,
That was a
went deep.
great article. Yeah, just real quick on the pop culture side, if you want an insight, like outside of the activism, like why everything is failing, Kim Masters wrote this is the best article I've read since the one, Woke Hollywood is Failing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. That was a great article at the end of the year. This is equal to that. So Kim Masters, props to her. The Access Media wrote a really in-depth, like it was surgical how they went into Amazon. How she went into Amazon is very critical. She did get statements from Jennifer Salk, but like, man, people were just dropping dime after dime on her.
Yeah.
So she is not a popular person, but it gave you an insight. And I see why Hollywood's threatened, because they have these two big players, Apple and Amazon, coming in and just buying their way in. They're not even in Hollywood. They don't understand the Hollywood system. They don't understand how things work. And it's not even their highest priority. So they're the biggest players. And as they say in the article, it's a side hustle for Amazon and Apple that they could just flip the switch on and say, okay, we're done.
It's just advertising for them.
It is. It is because she proved in that article that Amazon didn't gain a single subscriber from Amazon's from Prime in 2022. It was flat.
Get cut.
It could get cut. Like, look what they did to Comixology, dude.
Yeah,
they gutted it, and they just don't care about it. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Okay, back to this stuff. Sorry, it is my main job though. For now, Psycho Sister for $5 says, "Hey guys, and thank you for the $5. Just took my family to the Mario movie. I'm doing my part to see Odin eat pineapple pizza. Good for you."
I've seen it twice. I took all the kids twice.
Service guarantees citizenship. Hail all, and hail to you.
Love that. Thank you.
Mario's killing it.
Beat Frozen 2.
Already?
Yeah.
Yeah, it beat Frozen 2. Local theater was sold out all day today on Easter Sunday.
And there's still tomorrow.
So this thing is just it's gonna hit $1 billion easy.
I think so too. I also think it'd be more satisfying to watch Odin eat the pizza than Jeremy, to be honest.
And John Wick 4 jumped into number 2 again.
Wow.
Really nice.
Yeah,
I want to go see it a second time as well.
Logan went and saw it with Melissa today while I was doing my research. So glad baby boy got to see it finally. Quantum Sledgehammer for $5.59. The only rational explanation for giant humans disappearing is same as woolly mammoth. They were hunted to extinction. Problem solved. You're welcome. I don't think either of them were hunted to extinction. I think they were killed from extinction from the big rock in the sky, the big icy rock in the sky. I think that might have been, and there might have been some leftovers, but not many.
Yeah, I don't think either of them
were
hunted.
You know, the last mammoth died while I think it was Mesopotamia or Sumeria.
Oh, really?
Like, human civilization had started when the last mammoth died. Now, it was like a pygmy mammoth, and it was a bunch of them were stuck on an island outside of between South America and Antarctica. Yeah, I looked it up.
Wow.
So humans were very much alive when the last mammoth died. But it was just it was isolated.
Thank you, Ryan.
What was that?
The raid. Outpost raid.
Oh, what's up,
Ryan Raid?
Arcade Outpost, baby boy. Sejong the Great for $5. I believe it was Herman Edward Butter who started HEB. So it's Butter.
It says butt on Google. And Google doesn't lie.
I mean, I know a person with the last name Butt.
Corrected. They say butts. It's butts.
It is.
It's butts.
Yeah, they should just call it butts. I'd say own that.
I mean, damn, he made a great ass grocery store. I love it.
It's the best. Ruben Christopher Haynes, the legend, for $5.
Ruben.
The PETM 55.5 million years ago, I believe, is the lost advanced civilization. I am writing a paper on the event. Lots of historical data on this. I'd love to see it. I don't know what the PETM though is. You gotta tell me. Tell me in the chat. Don't do a super chat. Just tell me.
I'll look out for it. Thanks, Ruben.
But Ruben, hail to you, brother. Thank you. David Casada, no relation to Joe Casada. $4.99. Captain Dave's order. If there's anything more important than my ego around, I want it caught and shot. Hitchhiker's Guide inserted appropriately.
I want it caught and shot right now.
Yeah,
that's a good line.
In another note, trying to look up Hernando Cortez on Google, only thing that came up for Cortez was sneakers and AOC's horse face. Jimmy Corsetti is right. Google is trying to control history. They are. It is
Absolutely.
Yeah. The Jim Vieira pictures. Like, I should be able to Google Jim Vieira, Paxter, Hayes, giant photos. Like, enough of us are into this shit to know. And they just didn't come up at all. So I looked Paxter, Hayes, everything, nothing. So Jimmy is right. They are curating so much garbage. And like, listen, good luck finding a Breitbart article on Google or a Red State article on Google. This was for the longest time bounding into comics. You couldn't find it. You can now. But yeah.
Google used to actually be a usable search engine. Like, I remember using it back in the day, and you could find all kinds of stuff, just endless pages. And now it's
all day long,
nothing,
all day long.
It's
now
so hard to find things.
Yeah, it is being absolutely curated, and Elon exposed all of it by exposing Twitter. He exposed Silicon Valley. I'm sure I'm not telling you anything you don't know already, but that's what he did. So assume that what was going on at Twitter is about 10 times worse at Google because it's a bigger company. 10 times worse at Facebook because of Instagram. You know, it's so much worse. We have federal agents working at Google, Facebook, at all these places. And if you don't think they're working in Hollywood either, you're crazy. All right. You're crazy. Agamemnon Fireman for $5. Happy Easter. Surprised you're not talking about Easter Island today. It all lines up. Oh, we should have.
Oh, we should have.
I honestly didn't even think of that it landed.
That's a good idea. Dang.
Next year, either way, cheers, guys. Thanks for the idea. We'll do that next year. That's a brilliant idea. Crash 6674 for $10. On another note, was trying to. Oh, I read that one already. Drew G for $5. If you're open to a Christian view on these topics, look up Kent Hovid's 7 seminars. Lots of info on this stuff. Highly recommend it. Happy Easter. I am. That's why I listen to L.A. Marzulli. He's unapologetically Christian. There's nothing. I think he's a really entertaining guy. I subscribe to his channel. I've watched all. I bought the Watchers on like DVD because I wanted a physical copy. I think it was expensive, but I found it, and I watch him all the time. And I've been watching him for years. So it sucks that his cameraman and his director passed away. That was really sad during COVID. That guy was good. He was super talented. He was like, the way the Watchers series is cut is like, as an editor, has some fucking good editing. That is good editing. It makes it move, but it's not over dramatized like the History Channel shit. So if you ever watch the Watcher series, it's really well produced too, and it's informative. Episode 6 is the best though. Watcher 6. Drew G, thank you for the $5. I'm open to all kinds of points of view. I don't hate Christians. Both my moms are devout Christians. One of them's a devout Catholic. So Elliot Davies for 11 Canadian pesos. The lore, Goia, the blonde-haired giants, took 9 types of humans underground for over 200 years throughout the world. Red-haired giants were kicked out of Europe and landed in the Americas. Yeah, red-headed giants they're mentioned all around the world. It's another thing that's and it's in relation to megalithic structures. There always seems to be some lore right around the megalithic structures. Just pointing it out. Very interesting coincidence. Something I don't believe in. The arrowheads they dredge up off the shore at Chesapeake Bay are the same style as those found in Doggerland. Watch Randall's presentation on it. I will. Crash 6674. I haven't watched that one yet. Akiamato for 10 British pounds, proper money. Thank you. It's a well-known non-fact among people in China that the Native American are the same people from East Asia in the Middle Land mythology era until Gunyun divided rivers to resolve. See, that's what sucks. Is I need a lot more lore from other countries, even ones that, like China, which they erased it multiple times because they are the oldest. Them and India are the oldest civilizations, in my opinion, and Egypt. And I think they're all legacy. It's all legacy. Wrong Think Geek for $5. Cavorting with demons was one of the excuses given to wipe out the Templars. Yes, most historians agree it was because he owed them lots of money. Isn't it always come down to that, Garrett?
A little bit of that coins. That makes sense, though.
The flood from the west around 22 to 21 is that street or no? Okay.
21st. Sorry.
21st. Gotcha. Got it. My bad. The flood from the west around the 22nd, 21st century BC. They went to America through the ice sheet, over the ice sheet, over it.
It was a bridge.
There was a bridge. For one, before the Ice Age, you could walk from Asia to America, right? But then there was the two glaciers, and at around, was it 13, 14, 15,000 years ago, there was basically a crack in between, because there's two of them and they met, but then they because they receded at times, and there was an ice corridor that you could go through. According to scientists, I wasn't there. The Nobody Guy for $5. Have you guys heard of the Mysterious Universe podcast? Yes, I have, actually. A couple of based and funny Aussies into all things paranormal. Guests maybe love the show. Hell, I would talk to them. Yes, I've listened to their podcast. It's very, very good. It's called the Mysterious Universe podcast, and they are Aussies. I have an extra ticket if someone needs one. Jabber J for $9.99.
Cosmic Summit.
For Cosmic Summit. All right. I don't know if you want to give out your email address, but if somebody wants it, maybe tell people a way to contact you, maybe DM you on Twitter or something.
Yeah.
Get on the Nerdrotic Discord. Talk to some
people.
Yeah. Nerdrotic Discord.
Link in the description.
And thanks for offering it, Jabber J, and hope I can't wait to see you there. Derek O'Shea Show for $2. I am a giant denier. Just follow the science. Yeah, I'm not a confirmer or denier. Not sure on that one.
I'm a wait and listen.
Yep. It's certainly fascinating enough to hold my attention, though. Bobcat for $10. When are you going to talk about the secret government cheese bunkers and the truth about the Got Milk government ad campaign? Any day now.
It's on the list, man. Any day. We're just getting all of our documents ready.
Fluoride in the milk. I'm just kidding. Wrong Think Geek for $5. I don't drink milk, so I mean they can conspiracy all they want with milk. They ain't gonna get me.
Kids.
They put nanobots in the milk. Wrong Think Geek for $5. I dislike the term giants. It's incorrect. Obviously, they were dire humans.
That's a good way to say it. I hate the way that it's kind of packaged online. If you look up something like giants, they always use these giant, huge pictures of like 1-2 story tall skulls and stuff. And it's like, that is not what they mean when they say giant. They just mean like 2 feet higher than a normal person.
Mr. Wolverine 007 for $10. That book is on my, I can't call it a nightstand. My wife's a little weird. So she likes to make nightstands out of vintage luggage.
Oh, that's cool.
She stacks vintage luggage, like 3 of them up on top, and it makes a nightstand or a side table. So it's on my nightstand. I have been thumbing through the book. So Mr. Wolverine 007, $10 said, Lost History of Giants by Dr. Jonathan Gray, published 2003, is one of the books I emailed you. Ancient Weapons with Real Signs of Use. And yes, I mean, like it's on my little thing that I read off of. In portion size, with real signs of use in proportionate size for people 13 feet tall. Yes, there is another book. Where's my phone?
13 feet is ridiculous.
There's not a lot of books on Audible about giants. Like Jim Vieira doesn't do audio books. What is the book that it is? No, I don't want fucking, God damn it. Fucking Chrissy's notification. Fucking Pimpcast. Library. I do that all the time because my search thing is on the top, and then if somebody's notification comes on, I just accidentally hit it. Fucking Simpcast.
13 feet tall is like 2.5 of most people.
Here it is.
It's crazy.
It basically runs down everything Vieira does, but with none of the social commentary. And it's called The Ancient Giants Who Ruled America by Richard J. Dewhurst. And it is available. He has an Atlantis book too. So The Ancient Giants Who Ruled America by Richard J. Dewhurst. It's pretty good. It's like a good rundown of all the like stuff that they, basically that Vieira goes over. Ginger Adventure for $10. Dad believes in Bigfoot. My response is the same as Mitch Hedberg. I think Bigfoot is blurry. That's the problem. It's not the photographer's fault. Bigfoot is just blurry, and that's extra scary to me. And maybe he's interdimensional. That's what a lot of people think.
He's phasing through realities.
Phasing through reality. Mr. Gentleman for $5. Smithsonian founders mandated all giant and other skeletons that could contradict evolution be destroyed. They put their scientific dogma over truth. Okay, this is the same Smithsonian that took all the bones from the boneyard in Alaska that has tons of evidence of mammals, megafauna that lived up there that, according to science, shouldn't have, and dumped it into the fucking ocean, into the bay, basically. So you don't think they would get rid of giant bones when they just dumped it? And he said it was like a trailer cargo, like a train, like a cargo crate full of 40,000-year-old bones, 10,000-year-old bones that are worth, like each tusk is worth, tens of thousands of dollars. Just dumped it in the fucking water.
Should you get like a scuba team go down there? And
there's people who are already on it. After that Joe Rogan podcast, there was a dude there within 2 days.
Wow.
Good for him. I don't know if they
pulled
found
anything out.
I don't know how I say this. Bige or Bige or
Bige.
Bige 1312 for $5. What are your thoughts about the red-haired cannibalistic giant the U.S. forces encountered at the U.S. during the Afghan War? All hail, by the way. Hail to you.
What?
I've heard that story many times, and I don't know.
In this book here, probably. I just need to find it. Recommended by a viewer.
There you go. So there is a tale that in Afghanistan, some U.S. soldiers were tasked to remove a problem from a cave. When they arrived, it was a red-headed giant who killed one of the soldiers. They killed him. Then a helicopter went, picked it up. They got rid of it. It was troubling the locals. That's the tale. That's a tough one to believe. But you never know. Bubba Doom, 1 for $2. This conversation needs L.A. Marzulli. I'd get him on if he'd be willing. Vash Obarbaro Sincero for $2.20 an R. I forgot what that is.
Brazilian, I think.
Go read Genesis 6 Conspiracy by Gary Wayne. Oh, I know that book. I know that. Meta Step for $5. Have you all heard of the story of the American soldiers fighting the red-headed giants in the mountains of Afghanistan? Yes, I have. They have not, but go look. There's videos on it. They actually have one guy who claims to be a witness. So he initially called in to I can't remember if it was Art Bell or George Norrie, but that's the first time I heard it. David Casada for $4.99. I grew up going to Catalina via boat, scuba dove, whole island, lived on island, did tours, petted sharks. What you want to know? The bison are
On birth control.
Or the bison are on birth control. Oh, they have to be. They probably have to be. And they had to wipe out I think pigs on that island and a fucking insect. How do you wipe out an entire insect? But they did it. They pulled it off.
Interesting.
I guess so you have a small area because it's an island. That seems really difficult though.
Well, insects specifically, because I don't know if there's a certain insecticide for that.
There's probably millions of insane archaeological finds that are gone forever because California was steamrolled. It was just once they started the freeways, fucking steamrolled, especially around the coast. Now, if you go inland, there's huge swaths of land in California where you won't see anybody, and then there's the Central Valley, which is like going through the Midwest. It's just fucking farms and cows and shit. But as far as where the cities are, everything's pavement now. J.R. Coop for $4.99. Theory: the table in John Wick are descendants of the ancient advanced civilization who took over the lands after the cataclysm as still ruled today. They should totally add that to the lore.
That's what
as long as they're not.
I want another movie. I want more lore.
There's going to be another fucking movie. I promise you.
Better still be alive.
David Casada for $1.99. FYI, Casadas still have family in Bolivia. Oh, cool. Lots of crazy stuff in Bolivia. Alpias for $5. The gospel in
Gigantomachia.
Thank you. And a war on the underworld. Read Enoch, Book of Jubilees, to understand all the deep threads in Christ's war on death. Oh, the good old Book of Enoch.
Wow.
Darrowmouth for $5. Saw your not FNT vid on Rumble. Gary, glad to see your channel on Rumble grow. Here's to hoping that seeing Forbidden Frontier on there one day. Well, that's the plan. We got to talk to Rumble. I've got a proposal. We'll see if they say yes or not. But we'll find out. Metastep for $5. Contrary to popular belief, only a few species of syllabicized mushrooms grow on cow dung. Yeah, not many. Not many. Pretty soon that's just going to be legal everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it's like as far as hallucinogenics go and drugs go, it's the most harmless. Like you can't get super addicted to them.
I think like you could still abuse them though.
You can abuse them.
I think which is the concern.
Well, think about acid. Like you drop acid, you can't drop acid the next day and trip. I mean, you might have a teeny trip, but like whatever it uses up in your head, it takes a couple of days minimum to rejuvenate.
It's like a gas tank. It uses all that gas tank.
Yeah. So I've never tested that theory with mushrooms because like they were fucking difficult to get when I was a kid. They were difficult. It was not easy. But now you could go to Colorado and buy them from a store, right? That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true.
You?
Is it legal?
Legal there, yeah. And they're about to legalize it in California. They use it for some psychiatric treatment, which I've seen people have bad trips,
That
man.
doesn't seem like a good idea.
I had my little brother's friend went off to college and did a bunch of shrooms, and he did not come back the same. I'm not saying it happens to everyone that does it, but there is a percentage of people that will just snap and not be the same.
Wow.
It was sad.
Not worth it, in my opinion.
That's scary.
For the most part, like micro dose, I'm hearing it's fine though. I would stick with the micro dosing. If you really want to do it, make sure you're around cool people and you're in a safe place. That's all. CD Messer for $5. Hail. Gary, did Tolkien study ancient civilizations? The way you guys talk about the older civilizations might have been more advanced Reminds me of the Silmarillion. He studied ancient mythology, which is studying ancient civilizations. He was a professor. He was a linguist. So I'm sure, and he put Atlantis in his story. So, with Numenor, that's basically Atlantis.
Yep.
But a lot more of it is based on, with Numenor, the lesson from Numenor is men denying God, falling from grace, and worshiping the devil, human sacrifices, shit like that. Agamemnon Fireman for $5. Did you guys have any favorite movie shows that are about ancient civilizations? My favorite was Atlantis, the Lost Empire, and Castle in the Sky. I haven't seen a Lost Civilization. You know what? It's like Conan.
Stargate. Does that count?
Actual Atlantis, the animated version.
No, they're doing it. They're doing a straight up.
That's a great movie.
They're doing a straight up Atlantis movie. I forgot who's going to be in it, but Roland Emmerich's doing it. I forgot who was in it, but they're doing a
live action. Interesting.
Yeah, that needs to be done right. I think it could be cool.
Roland Emmerich, though.
Yeah, but yeah, Conan. That's my.
Finished watching it.
I just watched it last night.
It's good.
Any scorpions or spiders found in your new house? Asked Fizzenthorpe for $2. Not yet. Well, spiders, yes.
Spider. I just found a spider.
Yeah.
No scorpions. I haven't seen a scorpion since I've been here.
Oh, that's frightening.
I'm from SoCal. They had scorpions in SoCal.
They got them in West Texas. I know that.
Yeah.
That's where I had them last.
We had rattlers in SoCal, like all over the place. All fucking over the place. Rattlers everywhere. But here we have, what's the bad one?
Brown recluse?
No, snake.
A snake?
Yeah, we have brown recluse you don't really have in SoCal. We have black widows, but
we have rattlesnakes.
Copperheads? No, that's not dangerous, is it?
We have another one that's dangerous here. Yeah. There's fucking pigs everywhere.
Yeah, dude, hogs are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They shoot them from helicopters because they're so freaking infested.
Oh, and they capture them, right? If you don't shoot them from the helicopters, they capture them and they put them on farms to hunt.
Yeah.
Recreation. Yeah. Get yourself some bacon. Corn Pop for $1.99 says Crowder owes me an explanation.
For what
happened?
Well, you're a bad dude. I don't know what.
I don't know. Yeah, he's bad. Corn Pop's a bad dude. So
Corn Pop's a bad dude.
I'm not gonna ask you any questions.
Resef the Cripple for $5. Adjustment for inflation. Frozen 2 is bigger than Mario and very similar to Despicable Me 2 right now, which finished just under $1 billion. Down to the wire we go. Yeah, I mean, like Frozen 2 came out how long ago?
What was that,
2016? No.
16?
No, it was after 2016. 2017, something like that.
Frozen 2?
Yeah, maybe.
2019. Wow. I thought it was further back. Maybe I was thinking of Frozen.
Yeah, but nobody remembers Frozen 2. Like, it had a big opening weekend and kind of, Frozen was the one everybody remembers. And it's just...
I hate those movies.
I've never seen it. I never will.
They're banned from my house. I don't let my girls watch that crap.
Disney.
Just because the music's just so
Usually
bad.
Google has artwork for to celebrate holidays, religious, etc. Nothing for Easter, Mike D, for $5. Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep, it's just a white logo.
Wow.
Yeah, weird.
Totally overlooked it. Total accident. Sure. There's a great TV series initially focusing on the history of Egypt lore and proposes that the pyramids are landing pads for spaceships. If only Gary had a Blu-ray of the series that he could watch. He's talking about Stargate. Matthew Hammond's giving me shit for $5. Sophie. Sophie. It's not the same Soph. No, it's Soph. The one that it's on Gab McGinnis's channel. You've never heard of Soph? No. Yeah. Disturbed young child there. Recently learned you were adopted.
Wait, Soph.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yep. Yeah. She wasn't on Gavin. I knew her before that when she was doing other on like.
She used to be on YouTube.
Yeah,
Well,
used to be.
That's crazy.
That was back in the day.
I was too. Adoptees raise up. Yes, I am adopted. I'm adopted. Yes. Thank you, Sophie. Matthew Hammond for $5. Does Garrett accept gifts? Can I send it to Gary to give to him? No, Garrett doesn't get any gifts. It's against his religion. You got to give them all to me.
I do have a P.O. box. You can find it in my about section
No,
on my YouTube. I do. I do.
Tolkien also gave a lecture on actual dinosaurs at Southeastern Kaiju for $2.
Ah, very cool.
I did not know that. You don't need any drugs to experience altered states of consciousness. No, you don't. Mikey Boy does for $20. Just
tantric yoga.
Are you practicing it now?
Are you? I was going to say.
I just did it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Good job.
Sweat lounge?
Dude, yeah. A sauna? Do you ever do, have you done one of those isolation tanks?
Oh, the floating tanks?
Yeah, the Joe Rogan ones.
To.
Those are cool. My wife got me that for a birthday, and it's really cool.
How is that?
Altered states.
You just float there in that salt water, just right on the top of the water. It's pitch black.
Sleep deprived.
I guess that's kind of like an altered state, yeah.
You start hallucinating.
Usually around 4 o'clock, things go a little crazy.
I think Paul might be the real sweet sequel to Close Encounter, says Mr. Peckerwood for $5. It might be. Paul's funny. Randy Wingate, this is the last one of the night for $5 on the Streamlabs side. A small collection of new articles written about giant skeletons, and it's it gives us I wish I could have had that at the beginning of the show.
Oh,
shit.
Yeah, nice.
But we'll have to do it again. Keep that link, X-Ray Girl.
Okay.
Bookmark.
But thank you, Randy Wingate. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the show, everyone, today. Hung in there. And NyQuil too. No, I just passed out. One time I was so desperate to get, because I'm such an alcoholic and addict, we just drank NyQuil and then
can't do that anymore. They took that stuff out.
Yeah, the security at the University Town Center woke me and my friend Darius, who were passed out next to the ice rink, and I guess we were there for a couple hours.
Oh my goodness.
That's how you make purple drink. NyQuil.
Purple drink.
Purple.
It makes it purple. All right. What you got coming up, Garrett?
I have got, let me think about it. Bay Staff Monday tomorrow. That's right. With me, Adam, Darth Call, Flodzilla, Andreas, George. It's going to be a good time. That's tomorrow on Adam's channel. And then on Thursday, it's D&D. A little bit of the Geeks and Gabers tabletop with X-Ray Girl. So that's what I'm doing.
I love getting into tabletop. It's fun.
Somebody contacted us, and I think they're doing a tabletop thing.
I've talked to him about it.
Yeah, you need to talk to him.
Yeah, because I don't think we can do it where we're
doing
the meetup because there's no room.
There's no room.
I was like, maybe if we could find another spot, like if he could connect some other people and we could do a game.
Yeah, and it'd be super loud. I mean, it'd be crazy.
Oh, it would be. You couldn't hear anybody at the table.
Yeah,
it would not be fun.
But yeah, I'm totally open to it. But yeah, cool. What do you got coming up, X-Ray Girl?
I have lots of Conan gaming, obviously.
Yeah.
But this week is a little bit tighter in terms of schedule because I have work this week, a lot of in real life work. But I will try my best to try and stream Conan, and that's pretty much it. And then Sunday is my birthday next week, and I will have a birthday stream doing Warhammer building. Nice. So if you next week,
weekend,
next Sunday. Yeah,
Sunday,
yeah. I got Sunday Funday too.
A week from today.
Okay. So don't be wishing happy birthday, Mark. You can wish me this time.
We're still gonna say happy birthday, Mark.
Probably.
How it is.
Hey Gary, I have no idea. Happy birthday early, but we'll embarrass you a lot till then.
Yes.
Thank God.
Hey Gary, I have no idea if giants exist. I have recently seen though in the UK UFOs. That's awesome. You get any pictures?
Yeah, I want to see them.
Yeah. Show us pictures. Jonathan Aldridge, thank you for the 20 British pounds. That's proper money. Proper money. Appreciate you sneaking one in there. I'm gonna do absolutely nothing after this. I'm gonna lay on my freaking couch in my home theater and put probably Close Encounters of the Third Kind on in 4K and just chill like a mofo.
You've been working
That's
hard.
a good choice.
Yeah, I'm a little burnt.
Yeah, it's time to take a break.
We need to take a break. I know there's Star Wars to report, but Drinker put out a great video today.
Yeah,
so
he did.
Watch Drinker's video and our video, of course, on Rings of Power. And go check out Drinker's interview with Russell Crowe. That is big in our sphere. That is huge in our sphere. As huge as Terry Metalis reaching out to some of us genuinely, like with no expectations or anything, going, I think I've made something good. Check it out. If I don't, just tell me.
Yeah.
And having the balls to do that, I think it's huge. It's a huge win. The game critics are now dead. The movie critics, like Grace Randolph, might have ended the movie critic with her last Mario review. I don't love the movie, but that was objectively the worst movie review I have ever seen. And I've seen a lot of shitty movie reviews, but that was the worst movie review I've ever seen. It's just filled with stupidity. And somebody
Grace is the worst.
Yeah.
She's the worst.
I mean, good for her on all her subs and everything, but
hey, you, but you are not a good content creator.
You're better off listening to Maul or Critical Drinker as anybody. So we'll be back next week. I don't know what the subject is, but we'll definitely preview Skinwalker Ranch, and then we'll be off to Vegas. So our schedule will be a little funky. We're going to miss the Sunday shows, but we're going to make up one of those days once we decide what day it is. We'll let you know. We'll throw it in the community section and we'll do a show.
There's also our Twitter where we'll post about that.
Yes.
Our FF Show Official.
That's right.
FF Show Official. Follow us on Twitter, please.
And you could become a member here on the channel.
Yeah.
Support the show.
That supports
so much
this
stuff going
show.
on.
And as it grows, and we have big plans for this show in the coming years. Huge plans. Like it won't always be just this little streaming show. We're going to be going places. And
there might be merch soon.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Working on some merch.
Good. Late question. Are you going to be covering the mud floods and added 1,000 years to our calendar after the mud floods?
It's on the list.
It's on the list, brother. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate the super chat and the question. Good question. Good question. All right, guys, gals of the two genders, have a wonderful Easter Sunday evening. Hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for supporting us. Thanks to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
See you later.